800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com for this year's hottest Valentine's Day gift.
Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz. Here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. On the go at ESPNSA.com. Well, the week is here. Your big game coverage. We'll be going all week long. He's Jason Thompson. I'm Jason Thompson. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson.
Fumble.
Fumble right out of the gate, man. Big game coverage all week. Yeah, brought to you by Dietz Trailer. Yeah, it's going to start big. And I'll tell you, we were just about to come on air, and Jason and I looked at each other and like, wish we were in Tampa, but we're not. But we're going to treat it as we were, as if. So I've turned up the heat. I got some boiling water all around. I'm going to get a steam bath going, pretend like we got mosquitoes in the background. And we're going to have a big game coverage week, the likes of which that, Jason, as we go through the week, did a pretty good job. We're going to be celebrating the big game the right way. Lots of guests, lots to talk about what looks to be a spectacular football game coming up this Sunday. Some COVID news just breaking that we will get into pretty quick. But lots to talk about with that. But with, with big games, Jason, come lots and lots of guests.
Well, it does. And I know for many, many years, we go to Radio Row and the week turns into interviews with a lot of stars. And while we're not there, although I'm not going to wear shoes or pants all week, man, it's shorts and flip-flops for the week as if we were in Tampa. I don't know if we're going to drink like we normally would, since, but well, who am I kidding? But we'll do that. But you look at some of the Hall of Famers that we have booked, Emmitt Smith will be on the show on Friday leading up to the big game, the Radio Row guest experience, all the stars that would normally be walking around Radio Row are still doing their thing. It's just going to be on phone and on video, and we're still going to, you go 11 straight years, you get a lot of phone numbers, and we're rolling them out, and it's going to be that kind of a week.
It's going to be chock full of fun, and we're going to intersperse all the stuff that we're concerned about around home, certainly with Dallas Cowboys, as the pursuit of Dak continues. The Spurs continue to charge, playing to the level of their competition. We saw a sleepy game on Saturday. Let's hope everybody, got to sleep in a little bit on Sunday, slept in, got some rest, because Saturday they were unable to bring their own energy, and it was obvious, man. That game was, I don't know. That's what's going to be tough about this team. Just they play to the level of their competition, and it was just a sleepy, no energy kind of Sega Baba. And when you get a Sega Baba like that, you're going to lose. We'll get the rematch tonight, though.
The Sega Baba, the second of a back-to-back. I saw Saturday morning a variety of people that were screenshotting the standings where the Spurs were in fourth place, and man, they're back to 11. I mean, it's like, all right, you start to think, well, maybe, nope, here we go. I mean, this team is a yo-yo.
Well, and it's also the rest of the league. Mediocrity reigns down in there at the bottom of the Western Conference. So, yeah, you're going to swing up and down. It's going to be a roller coaster. The good news about that is it makes every game really important. If you can have a 7-spot swing with one loss, it kind of makes everything matter a little bit. Or you just kind of get numb to it. You just get that kind of scar tissue. Like every game's a big game, so let's treat it as such. One or the other will happen. But at some point, these young guys are just going to have to play above the competition. I mean, we match whoever we play on a pretty regular basis, and you just got to maintain. And that's, I think, on that hierarchy of winning, the steps you have to take, that's the next one. And the good news is we get Derek White back, and it was certainly a pleasure to see that guy getting it. And the rhythm seems to be coming back pretty quick. It's the place inside the team I thought looked a little odd on Saturday.
Well, and finding minutes for like Vassell and some of the others. And again, yeah. I've got this running list that's getting too long on you can get wins against teams you're not supposed to beat. You got a couple last week against Denver and Boston. Cool. But then when you put in another list of they've got no business losing this game, that list is getting too long. And losing to Memphis on Saturday night was a game that you had to win. They were starting to stretch of 4 straight that were all winnable games. Boy, if they could go on right out of the gate, man, tripped over their feet.
When we saw the Spurs take on the Rockets after Harden left, that was an angry team. They had something to prove. They'd been demoralized from inside and out. On Saturday, Memphis just had more bounce. They hadn't played in 2 weeks and really put it together pretty quick. They didn't look like they hadn't played together. So, and they just kind of ran by the Spurs. And I think they realized about halfway through the effort that it's going to take to come back and beat these guys frankly isn't worth it. So we're going to play it like it's a tennis match. And, we'll start lobbing that, third set just to finish it out. We'll give it a value to tipped. You'll walk away feeling proud of yourself. But the fact is, we get you in just a couple of 36 hours. We'll regroup. That's what it felt like. I mean, the fourth quarter just was like, perfunctory basketball with Derek White kind of working out the kinks.
I didn't stick around for the fourth quarter of that one. So
who did?
I have no idea. I have no. It just that was a frustrate. This team will frustrate the hell out of you if you will let it. And last week they beat Boston, they beat Denver. They're getting Derek White back. I bought in. Rob keeps putting in my ear, this is a playoff team. This is a playoff team, and I'm starting to see it. And then Saturday happens.
The good news is the rest of teams look just like the Spurs. It's just going to see who breaks, who doesn't, who trades, who doesn't, and who stays safe. Because you miss a couple games, you see what happens, and we'll talk a lot about it. Don't forget Game Night San Antonio at 6:30, brought to you by Mellow Mushroom. Jill Jelnick, our Spurs insider from Sports Tonight and YOLO, will join us then. In the meantime, let's give you the cavalcade of car wash guests that our big game coverage brought to you by Dietz Tractor all week, along with AA Best Bail Bonds, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. We'll start out with Kyle Turley. Good friend of the radio row. We've been sitting down with him for years. It's kind of like catching up with your wild cousin whenever Kyle Turley sits down. He's a good dude. He's very personable, has a great story to tell after a really remarkable pro football career that was marked by rage and pain, I think would be the best way to describe how he played. And, kind of turned his life around with the use of CBD and all that goes in with the post-pain of most NFL athletes after they're done with their career. He's done some remarkable things considering what he had to go through.
He really has. And, generally when we see him, he has gifts. But you talk about one of the more interesting characters. I mean, that guy plays in a band. I've had him sing on the show. He shows up with his guitar. You never know what you're going to get. But Kyle Turley, literally throughout the Super Bowl radio row week, always comes back to one of the most interesting and best interviews of the week. So, when you start going through, who do I want to get this week? Kyle Turley is right off the top.
And it's just a chance to catch up with an old friend who I'd have never thought I'd have been able to say about Kyle Turley, because quite frankly, for most, if not all of his career, he frightened me. He's a big, scary dude. I mean, I have a tendency to make those kind of guys mad. I don't know why, but they end up kind of upset with me. Ross Tucker is going to join us. He of the Ross Tucker podcast, another old friend of the Blitz. He is an NFL insider, the likes of which, if you're not listening to his podcast, the dude gets A-listers. He's one of those guys that just gets the A-listers because he talks great football, and he will join us at 5:30. Dave Mason's going to join us a little after 6. This is for all you numbers players. Dave Mason is very much involved with the BetOnline industry, and we got prop bets coming up this week. Yep. And this year, prop bets are going to be interesting because the crowd won't play a role in what was, in a lot of the prop bets. I always felt like the bigger the crowd, the faster the anthem, or the much slower the anthem. So there's going to be some things that aren't going to be in play that might affect the prop bets that I'm accustomed to throwing lots and lots of money away on.
Well, and again, I mean, it's a fun part of the game. It's better than squares. In fact, Michael Jimenez from the Sunday Sports Grill and the fantasy show. Did I get the? You say
that with a question mark on the end. Yes,
well, I don't.
It is.
Is that the name
Sunday
of the
Sports Grill?
The Sunday
he
Sports
was a
Grill.
fantasy god.
He's not the Saturday Sports Grill. It's not just the Sports Grill. It's the Sunday Sports Grill, because we want to make sure that show is never on a Saturday or a Tuesday. So it's the Sunday Sports Grill.
It's in branding, and it's a method to remind when it's on. You put it in the name, so whenever you think of it, you go, "Oh!" So it's an old trick. It's an old radio trick. I'm sorry.
I know, because here on the Daily Blitz or the Weekday Blitz, we got to do that.
The Monday through Friday Blitz.
I didn't say it was a great idea. I just said it's an old idea.
Well, I mean, but he came up with this new game, and on how to incorporate kind of squares, but with all the prop bet stuff.
You trust all that? That all just looked like another way for Michael Levinas to take my money. Oh yeah, no. Here's how it works. It's like when I went to buy the lottery tickets, and they go, "Do you want to go all the way with that?" This Michael Levinas is looking at me, going, "Hey, you want to go all the way with that square?" And I'm going, "Well, I thought the $10 buy-in, and now it's like $100. I guess I'm all in." Sure.
Well, yeah, because you get some multipliers in there. I mean, trust me. I mean, you've got a chance of winning some of this back, and when it's all done right before the game, I'll send you what your bets actually are. I mean, in essence, it's a prop bet without you making a decision. It's the coin toss, head or tail. You give him $10, he'll tell you what you chose.
Exactly. So Michael Levinas, should I just give you the money now, all of it, or do you want to take it slowly? You want to bleed me dry? Or you just want to cut my throat? You can pick one or the other, but let's get it all out front so I know where I'm going. Because I felt like when I saw that, like, I don't understand some of this stuff. So I'm destined to lose.
Did he call you and try to run it? No, like, all right, hey man, you want in on this? I mean, it's kind of like it's like back in the day, man, I'm buying a pager store. You want to get in on all the pagers? I mean, this is going to be big. I think this is going to be really big. And here's how it works. And you're like, yeah.
Hey, Rob, your car's extended warranty's going out.
No, it's the long distance phone cards. This is the long distance phone card of the gambling industry right here. The future's in long distance calling cards, man. It's just like this. You $10. But also, we're going to combine some random prop bets so that this $10 buy-in is now like $80, and then you even have a lesser
to win
chance
30.
Of winning.
So this is great.
Yeah, there you go. So I don't know what the problem is. Let's all come over to my house and celebrate the right way.
You got to buy a square though. You want some Bitcoin?
Yeah, you're paid out in Bitcoin.
Got some GameStop for you.
There you go. There you go, Michael Levinas. Good luck with all that. I will watch from afar, and I'll be left out just like the GameStop stuff. I'll be left out thinking, I'm too smart for this. Is just dumb. As I watch other millionaires create, this is just dumb. There's no value being created. I'm not going to jump in on that. My high heart. No way. I would not do that. That's the attitude, and I just watch people make money. Well, I'm just too good for something like that. I'm not bitter though. Let's celebrate the Super Bowl. Let's do it the right way. Coming back, what's a Deshaun worth? After what we saw Stafford go for, we're going to look at the triangulation effect to the rest of the quarterbacks. Coming up, we'll look at that. Kyle Turley will join us very quickly thereafter. Hang where you are. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. I've scheduled a ski trip in my very near future, and I'm going to have to make playing weight, and part of that is staying on my program with IFH. And I'm so far ahead of where I've been. When I first met Dr. Torres with the IFH a little over a year and a half ago, weighed nearly 300 pounds. I was walking around the 46 waist. I was not a very good health, although my doctors kept telling me, you're in pretty good shape for the shape you're in. But the fact of the matter is I didn't feel good. If you're one of those types, if you're nearly obese, or if you are, and the doctors are telling you, all of these things can be dealt with if you'll just lose a little bit of weight and keep it off. And isn't that the key? And keep it off. Then it can improve a lot of things. Maybe some of these medications you're about to take or are taking will go away. When I met Dr. Torres, he explained to me that the value of food and what it means to your body and the value of that chemistry in reaction to that, everybody's different that way. And that's really the basis for what the IFH does. Get a personalized, customized program set aside just for you under the care and the supervision, and I mean that directly, the supervision of medical professionals. I want you to call Dr. Torres and meet him. Here's the number, 210-468-1891. Again, 210-468-1891. Call Dr. Torres, sit down and just learn about the program. You'll find that better health is around the corner, can be attained by monitoring and changing your attitudes about food. Mine changed. I still love what I eat, and I eat what I love. It's just how I eat it and when I eat it that I take care of it. Call Dr. Torres today. Get involved with the Institute for Functional Health. Get yourself healthy. I'm sure you'll call me later.
You could win $50,000 in the ESPN San Antonio Big Game Score Contest. Can you pick it perfectly for the chance to win $50,000? Go now to ESPNSA.com and enter what you think the score will be. Sign up today at ESPNSA.com.
Does learning a language feel like this?
No habla español?
Hablo.
It's hablo?
Yes.
It's hablo.
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
Since my husband is from Guatemala, I'll apply what I've learned in Babbel to our real-life situations.
The app is so easy to use and it's so practical. It helps you learn things that you will actually need.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
What do you get when you talk to a Dell Technologies advisor? You get someone who understands there's an art to listening, who's able to hear more than what's being said, and can provide tailored small business solutions that make you feel truly heard.
I understand. Let's get started.
For advice on everything from laptops to the cloud and solutions powered by Intel vPro platform, call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL.
Buying some pretzel sticks?
Excuse me?
This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless.
Okay.
What if you didn't eat all those pretzel sticks by the end of the month, so this store took them back?
Good luck.
That's how some wireless companies are with your data, but TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data with active service, so you keep what you pay for. Plans start at $20 a month.
Wow, that's cool.
Sir, are you bothering the customers?
Yeah, hang on.
This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control.
Available at major retailers. See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
Take your romance game to a whole new level this Valentine's with Diamonds Direct's most popular offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase happening right now. You know jewelry is the perfect gift to celebrate your love. And with this incredible offer, you can afford to go big. Like a $6,000 diamond tennis bracelet, just $100 a month. Or a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings, just $50 a month. Diamonds Direct has teamed up with the world's top jewelry designers for an expanded selection of Valentine's surprises for any budget. Romantic gifts starting as low as $400. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, colored gemstones. The guaranteed largest selection, highest quality, and always the best value. Whether you shop in store or online at DiamondsDirect.com. Make this the most memorable Valentine's ever with 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase, including engagement rings. Now through Valentine's Day. Celebrate your love at Diamonds Direct.
At the shops at La Cantera.
Every player matters, and finding the right person can make all the difference.
In 1999, the Indianapolis Colts traded Marshall Faulk to the St. Louis Rams for a 2nd and 5th round pick. The move helped transform the Rams offense into one of the most dynamic in the history of the NFL. They became known as the greatest show on turf. Faulk won the NFL MVP in 2000, and the Rams went on to reach 2 Super Bowls, winning Super Bowl 34.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
When scouting talent, teams use all the tools at their disposal to determine the best fit for their rosters. LinkedIn Jobs works that way for your business. Post a job with targeted screening questions, and LinkedIn will quickly get your role in front of qualified candidates. Manage job posts and contact candidates from a single view as functions are streamlined onto one simple screen. And now you can post a job for free at linkedin.com/sports. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
It is the Blitz. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. Welcome aboard. Kyle Turley is going to join us in about 15 minutes. Always a pleasure to catch up with a really good guy. And the weekend, of course, the NFL stays front and center, whether there's anything happening or not. And I guess you could call the NFL Pro Bowl celebration. I don't know what the hell that was, but it was a valid attempt, if you want to call something going on. But the news started Friday, man. What a whopping trade. It's not surprising. It kind of makes some sense. But when you look at what the Rams gave up to go get a Stafford and charge toward a Super Bowl, I think it's the value that was given. I think might have the ripple effect down the quarterback line.
Yes, I mean they certainly seem to have overpaid, but because of the contract that they were also unloading with Goff, there had to be some there, and apparently there was some competition with the Rams to get Matt Stafford. And if you read and listen to all the reports, that is who Sean McVay wanted outside of Aaron Rodgers. And when he knew he wasn't going to get Aaron Rodgers. He studied all the quarterbacks and thought his system was going to be perfect for Matt Stafford. So go get him at whatever cost because it's going to get us to the Super Bowl. And I think for Jared Goff, who just was in a Super Bowl with Sean McVay, I think if you're the Detroit Lions, you have a quarterback who how do you grade him? I mean, you look at his winning percentage. You look at it's not a gimme. It's not a Brock Osweiler type of situation that Houston found themselves in, and then they had to dump off that crap contract. I mean, the Lions end up with a really good quarterback who in that offense, with some weapons that might be better suited to him because Goff hasn't been the same since they lost Gurley. So what is Matt Stafford going to do in that offense? And at 32, but and for the Lions, they get the picks, and in 2 years that contract for Goff is done with no negative cap hit. So even with those picks, it's not like they're forced to draft a quarterback in this year's draft.
So the logical question goes, after you saw the value given, what's a Deshaun worth? And how does that affect San Francisco? And how does that affect New England? And how does it affect the other teams that are in the process of changing? What about Baltimore? I mean, Baltimore, or not Baltimore so much as the Colts, but what about the teams after they see that value? How many are the Carolina as well? And we also heard the Bears were kind of involved with this. Seeing what Stafford costs, how many teams are legitimately still in it to chase Deshaun if in fact the Texans are going to ever come to the bargaining table? And well, that's a completely different discussion.
Well, all right. So I do think that the value of Deshaun Watson did not change with the Stafford Goff deal. And I say that because every scenario, every expert, every former GM that you see on television started the Deshaun conversation at 3 number ones. So
Right.
If you're going 3 number ones and 3 number twos over, say, a 5-year period, 2 ones and a 3, I don't know that it didn't change anything for Deshaun. It's not like, if Stafford got 2, I need 4 for Deshaun Watson. I mean, I don't know. It's not like we were talking about 2 ones and a 2 for Deshaun. We started at 3, so they didn't get close to the value of what was rumored what it would take to get a Deshaun Watson. And let's keep in mind that the Lions did take on Jared Goff's deal. So you look at the Jets situation, or the Texans going to get a Sam Darnold in return, and what are they going to do with Sam Darnold if that's the case? Or the Dolphins, who have the capital and the picks, a lot of them from Houston, with Tua's rookie deal, would they include Tua in the deal? So, already having that quarterback in there, and you're taking that on, and the trade partner, I think, is a big component of it as well.
So who's left? We saw that the Bears offered a little bit. Carolina offered a little bit. Do they have more, or are they out? Did we see their cards? Is it truly just the Jets and Miami that are left that can afford or are bidding against themselves if it's just them? Or is there, in your mind, are the 49ers involved in this, or is Cousins going to be the guy that lands there? I just feel like we all know how expensive Stafford was. We talk about it in vague terms with Deshaun. It's going to cost you this. But then when you look at what the Rams did, you go, well, the Rams basically said, well, 2 years. We're going to give ourselves 2 years, and then we will judge ourselves off that, because after you give up 2 number ones like that, unless you continue to wheel and deal, which will cost you some more guys, they're all in, and that's an expensive price to pay. They had enough to do it. Who's out there has enough to do it and still say, I'm in it to win it for 2 years? Or who is it that is so down on the bottom end that says it doesn't matter, we'll just start with a quarterback a la the Jets? Which is the one more likely?
Well, I think a combination of things. First off, you go back and you look at the Rams. They don't value the draft pick. I mean, the Rams trade away first-round picks like nothing. You get other general managers that hold on to those things like it's gold. The Rams would rather trade that pick away for a proven player, like the Jalen Ramsey deal or now the Matt Stafford deal. They haven't had a first-round pick since Jared Goff, which is kind of nuts when you look at it like that. So, but I do look at whether it's the Jets or the Dolphins, and you go back to that because it doesn't matter who has the best offer to make. It's where is Deshaun going to agree to go to with this no trade clause. And, Deshaun might say, dude, I want out of Houston. I'll go anywhere. But I don't see that being the case. So, that does kind of tie the hands here that, Deshaun, because he's under contract for 4 or 5 more years, he's got to agree to where he's going. It's how bad is it in Houston?
If he has to agree to where he's going, and if he's gonna complain the way that he is, I can't imagine him turning it down. If the Texans do all the due diligence and come back to him and say it's the Jets, that's the deal that we could bake. It's the best deal possible, and they're the only team we could find to take on that whopping contract of yours. So it's that or nothing. So you can either go home or go play. I think Deshaun, at the end of the day, unless it's just I can't imagine turning down the opportunity to play, because that's the whole thing about his age and time. Now, there's some debate whether it would hurt him or not sitting out a year. I think it would. I think it would definitely hurt you. But I can't imagine the cost as we get closer. And when, as we get closer, I say that thinking, I think this is all going to go to sleep for a while. I think a trade either happens this week, or we're not going to hear anything for a couple weeks. I think it all go to bed as the Texans try to put things together. But there is some news floating around regarding Voldemort, this Easterby guy. Evidently, he's doing exactly what McNair and Caserio told us he would not be doing. So that might
calling around other teams representing the Texans.
It's a difficult thing to quantify whether he's calling these other teams regarding these players and acquisitions in a spiritual matter. It could be all spiritual. It could be a counseling call. We don't know. It's just the matter that he has to speak with the other team regarding a player that would come and play for his team. It could be nothing to do with work.
Jets GM, as I know you're about to get on the phone with Nick, I wanted to pray with you for a few moments that this
it could be something like that.
Smoothly. Yeah,
to work through the OCDs or anything else in the world that a listening and calming person like Voldemort can be. They might have some Death Eater stuff to deal with. Coming back, let's talk with Kyle Turley. Kyle's a legendary football player that dealt with some legendary things after he left the game. How he came back is really the story, and it's really interesting to talk with a guy like Kyle. He's coming around the corner. Kyle Turley will be right here on the Blitz. Your big game coverage continues, brought to you by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Next here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
In San Antonio, we have some of the hardest water in the country. Jason Minnick's here for Alamo Water Softeners. If your water tastes bad or has an odd smell, call Alamo Water Softeners. They'll come to your house, give you a free estimate, and test your water. And right now, save $300 on select water care water softeners. Now, I've had a water softener from Alamo Water Softeners for years. Not only will you get great tasting water, you will be extending the life of your appliances and plumbing. In the long run, you're going to save money. Alamo Water Softener is a great local company owned by the Townsends. I've known them for about a decade and watched that company grow over the years because they have a great product and great customer service. On the Nextdoor app, Alamo Water Softeners was voted a 2020 neighborhood favorite. Alamo Water Softeners is the best value for the highest quality water treatment. Discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference and take $300 off select water care water softeners. Go to alamowatersofteners.com. That's alamowatersofteners.com.
Hey, we're both working toward a common goal. Quitting time! This is San Antonio's sports leader, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. All day, every day.
Sports Center is brought to you by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Available at H-E-B.
Before we rodeo San Antonio, mosey on over to Dietz Tractor. We're busting out of the chutes early with a stock full of LS tractors. And this is no 8-second ride. Take your time and choose from a field that includes compact and utility tractors at low prices. Excel in your field with LS Tractor, 6-time winner of the EDA Dealer's Choice Award. Backed by a limited 6-year warranty, LS Tractors will give you more standard features and more performance for less money. These are some of the hottest tractors around, and Dietz Tractor wants to sell them to you today at unbelievable prices. Dietz Tractor, where you get more tractor for less.
At Thomas J. Henry, our sole focus is to help injured clients rebuild their lives. If you've been hurt, don't wait. Start your claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
I'm Joel, co-founder of the company behind Super Beets. I'm excited to share with you our newest product, Super Beets Heart Chews, which includes clinically researched grapeseed extract. shown to be 2 times as effective at supporting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone.
Get a free 30-day supply of Super Beets Chews, plus a free 30-day supply of Super Grapes with your first purchase when you shop at getsuperbeets.com/sky. That's getsuperbeets.com/sky.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
As a minimalist, paying less for insurance is more.
Nice place. Is your house a bubble?
It's a dome. I find corners unnecessary.
At Liberty Mutual, that's how we feel about overpaying for insurance.
But I do miss having shelves.
What would you put on them?
Nothing, obviously.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Injuries happen if you twist, pull, pump, or snap something you need to know about the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. From a minor sprain to a compound fracture, TSAOG has got you covered. Not all injuries require surgery. Dr. David Espinosa treats all non-operative orthopedic injuries and concussion baseline testing. Telemedicine services are available through Ortho Connect. If you're hurting, go to the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Online, TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app. Discover and enjoy your favorite music, news, and talk radio from live stations across the country. Listen anywhere on all mobile and home devices with the radio.com app.
Every player matters, and finding the right person can make all the difference.
In 1999, the Indianapolis coach traded Marshall Faulk to the St. Louis Rams for a 2nd and 5th round pick. The move helped transform the Rams offense into one of the most dynamic in the history of the NFL. They became known as the greatest show on turf. Faulk won the NFL MVP in 2000, and the Rams went on to reach 2 Super Bowls, winning Super Bowl 34.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
When scouting talent, teams use all the tools at their disposal to determine the best fit for their rosters. LinkedIn Jobs works that way for your business. Post a job with targeted screening questions, and LinkedIn will quickly get your role in front of qualified candidates. Manage job posts and contact candidates from a single view as functions are streamlined onto one simple screen. And now you can post a job for free at linkedin.com/sports. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
It is the Blitz. Here with your Dietz Tractor Big Game coverage. You know, it's Super Bowl week. It's Radio Row week, and we can't be there, but it feels very much familiar to me, Jason, as I'm Rob Thompson. He's Jason Minix. As we have one of our regulars, one of the guys that we touch base with every year just to kind of catch up and see how things are doing. And as usual, his life has been interesting. We'd like to welcome on the show Kyle Turley, NFL legend and all-around great guy. Kyle, man, good to catch up with you. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, I appreciate y'all having me on, man. Yeah, sorry we're not in Tampa, but, you know, the COVID times, right?
Oh, absolutely. How have you been dealing with the pandemic?
You know, I just try to keep moving forward, honestly. I mean, I look at the science of things, you know. I just like I looked at it, the NFL, this wasn't an easy mountain to climb. How do we understand our health? And I just have had this opportunity through a lot of things I've been doing lately that have shown me, you know, a way that I can stay away from a lot of this stuff. And I don't fear anything, and neither does my family, you know, honestly. We're, you know, we have our little ups and downs like everybody does every year as far as how you feel. But overall, just my entire family's health, including my own, has been phenomenal. And you know, I think I probably may have had COVID at some point, maybe even last year. I don't know. You know, there's just a way that you got to go about life, and that's keep moving forward. And, you know, it's too bad that these doctors are out here not, you know, really out here trying to help people, you know, do that.
Yep. Kyle Turley joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. You know, Kyle, as we sit today, I remember the first time we sat and talked back in Houston. What's that been, 4 or 5 years ago? And you were you know, one of the few guys that were going up and down the Radio Row really preaching and talking about the benefits of CBD and things along that line. And now we sit several years later, and it appears that at least by act, if not by consistency, that the league has kind of eased up on at least the marijuana side of things. Do you feel victorious? Do you feel like you've crossed the finish line, or is there still more work to be done for the former players and dealing with these kind of issues, and current players using CBD and marijuana, quite frankly, to ease the pain and avoid the narcotics?
Yeah, 100%. And that's why I do what I do and talk about this the way I do, because of what has happened in my life and what I see in our community. Our football community has been plagued by, everything from all the diseases that we are inherently, obtaining that are at percentages over national averages, that are really alarming, like diseases like ALS and there's this CTE disease in and of itself. And you see the things that are going on right now. You look at the kid in Seattle. These are things that I've actually been through. These are things that a lot of guys have been through, and we've been able to make it out. And we talk about cannabis the way we do because, I'm 6 years now, no pills. I'm opiate free for 6 years. I have plates and screws, and I need more surgeries after I've had a ton of surgeries, and they want to replace all kinds of things on this body. So, I know what pain is. I know what mental health is. I believe me, I do. And that's why we speak about this and are trying to expose the true science behind cannabis, and that it has nothing to do with this plant. It has everything to do with what is inside each and every person's brain, and that is the endogenous cannabinoid system.
Kyle Turley with us here on ESPN San Antonio. Long NFL career, Saints, Rams, and the Chiefs. And obviously the Chiefs in the Super Bowl again this year. They're going to be without their tackle. And I'm curious, Kyle, when you look at a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, who likes to get outside of the pocket, even if the play wasn't designed to, how much tougher is that on an offensive lineman?
Not necessarily tougher. It's a great benefit. And you see Patrick Mahomes, he's a great pocket quarterback as well. So he knows when to get out and when to stay in, it seems. He's got a great rapport with his offensive line. And then, we're in the COVID times. And so I don't think that the guy coming off the bench is the same as it was in years past. You may have had a guy not have been able to get in the games in years past, but because of COVID and the rotation that's had to go on, everybody in there, I think, has gotten some playing time at some sort or another. And so I think that, overall they've been able to overcome these adversities over this time period in this football season to show that, losing a tackle is going to be tough. And you're going to be, though, very fortunate to have a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes that can, get out there if they don't put that extra tight end on that side.
And that leads to really kind of a technical question. I don't know if there's actually an answer to this, but if you're a backup tackle, what's the easiest thing for backup tackles to do? What's the base level for an NFL tackle? And then what's the graduate level, things that you expect when the good ones are out there? So, and how do you adapt your offensive scheme to fit that? Like, is it drive blocking? Is it, I guess that it comes down to the individual player, but if you're scheming with a backup, what's the easiest thing for your backup to pick up?
Well, this late in the season, I think that, the backups had the most opportunity to sit and really watch film. And, most teams' offensive line coaches are pretty demanding of the guys that aren't playing, that they know what they, is going on.
It depends on the team.
Just in case. So,
yeah.
The hardest thing to do is just going to be to not let the pressure get to. Guys are going to go into the Super Bowl for heaven's sakes. The pressure of this moment alone, but kind of no pressure at the same time. So a great scenario for a young player to step up. That's the NFL. The beauty of it is next man up.
Yeah, unfortunately, down here in San Antonio, this is Dallas Cowboy country, and we got a lot of offensive linemen that we got to watch take the next man up, and it doesn't necessarily work out when you got a bunch of backup offensive linemen.
Hey, it's hard to replace guys like Tyron Smith, man. Come on now. That's my homeboy from the hometown, Moreno Valley, California. And
no question about it.
It's hard to get these guys. You got to come to these little small towns in Southern California and pick them out.
Well, you look at Tyron Smith, and Lyle Collins was out, and Zach Martin missed some time, and the center missed some time, and we just saw a bunch of backup offensive linemen, and the drop off from starter level to backup is tremendous, and it's amazing to me that the NFL teams can't find more quality backup offensive linemen.
Well, at the end of the day, it's coaching. I mean, you don't have an XFL. There's no excuse. You don't have an XFL. You don't have an NFL Europe. Canada's just a joke. What is out there? Nothing. So the talent pool is out there. These scouts are doing a horrible job. The makeup of offensive lines, I see it as well as you. And you just don't have the quality of player that I think you used to have. The Senior Bowl looks promising. There's some hard-nosed kids coming out of all kinds of places right now, fighting. They realize their opportunity in this weird time we're in to make a name for themselves. And like I did it out of San Diego State, you're going to have people rise. And, there's just been, unfortunately, I think a drop in the offensive line position as we've gone into this mentality of, being a singular player. I'm an offensive lineman. I was an offensive lineman, yeah, but I came in as a defensive lineman. And then when I couldn't play offensive line, I played tight end. And, going after athletes is, the thing that you need to do, especially in the game today. And too many coaches and scouting staffs are just focused on size. The entire mentality of you just got to weigh 300 pounds. Now it's 400 pounds, it looks like.
Yeah, well, and Kyle, there's also a certain nastiness from an offensive lineman that was certainly missing with the Cowboys. I'm curious if you remember the play Cowboys against football team, and Andy Dalton damn near got his head taken off, and not one of those offensive linemen went to go protect his quarterback or get into the face of that Washington football player. If you were on an offensive line and you say your quarterback get his head taken off, what is Kyle Turley doing?
Well, I'm pretty sure everybody can YouTube that. That was see. But as a matured person, I guess post football career and having a lot of time to think about that and dwell on it. I wish I had a coach that would have been able to wrangle me in, yet still instill that mentality in me. And just these guys seem void of it completely, but the league has just scared everybody to death. You don't want to go and do anything just because they come down on you so hard. They don't let guys just play football, and they almost encourage that real bad activity that creates these scenarios, where Myles Garrett, and then things like you're talking about Dalton. I mean, these scenarios seem to be getting created more and more because of the lax or the fear that they've instilled into players from retaliating. And when I played in the old days, that's what policed the game. You didn't cross the line because you knew you're going to get dealt with, and that's not happening right now. So I think that's a big kind of cause of the whole thing.
He's Kyle Turley, one of the great personalities in the NFL lores, and a cannabis advocate, has been for years. And you, along with Jim McMahon and Ricky Williams, even Britton, have all gotten involved with a new venture, Revenant MJ. When we first met you, Kyle, several years back, Neuro XPF, you offered us a couple of samples, and you made me a believer in what CBD can do. Tell us about your new venture, Revenant MJ.
Well, Revenant MJ is just a continuation. I've always said it, in these past Super Bowls. We're going to get to the conversation with marijuana, this word that they've created to put the fear into everybody about this plant that, is curing diseases, helping people live better lives, saving marriages and families, and allowing people to, have this revenant experience of getting your life back. And so as I did what I did with NeuroXPF and the CBD company, now is the time that, I felt it important after we've all kind of gone out there and been these stewards of advocacy and activism in cannabis, from Jim to Ricky, Evan, and myself, we've been out here across the country, around the world, advocating for this plan. And we've had the opportunity as well over the last few years to do a lot of experimenting, and understand how this works. And that's what we're after. We're going to be replicating products across the country as we brand this nationally to bring what it is we've found in cannabis to the people. And it is about health. It is not about getting high.
Kyle Turley, man, it's always a pleasure catching up. Can't wait to see you face to face, man. Stay safe. We look forward to seeing you real soon.
Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs. There we go. Kyle Turley joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. Your Dietz Tractor Big Game coverage will continue throughout the day. We're going to have Ross Tucker join us at 5:30. We'll talk gambling with Dave Mason. When we come back, Jason, let's get into, we knew Jason Witten had maybe had coaching in his future. We just didn't think this would happen. Well, let me tell you where Jason Witten will be coaching next year. Unexpected, but pretty cool. We'll talk about it next. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
And with the big game coming up on Sunday, you're going to fire up the grill. You're going to have a lot of food out there. You want the best sausage to be a part of your mix. Of course you do. You want authentic sausage, the kind you could find in butcher shops back in the old days. Then get yourself Kielbasa smoked sausage. You see, at Kielbasa, they make their legendary smoked sausage in small 150-pound batches with only fresh, high-quality ingredients, never frozen meat. They don't add fillers or chemicals that you can't pronounce. Then it is smoked over real hardwood, just the way Rufus Kielbasa did back in 1949 when the company was started here in San Antonio, and everything they make is still made here in San Antonio over there off of South Brazos Street. They're a great local company on a mission to reintroduce you to authentic smoked meats. So when you buy Kielbasa brand sausage, you know you're getting the best, most authentic smoked sausage you will ever eat. Michael Kielbasa guarantees it. If it's not the best sausage you've ever eaten, call him. He'll give you your money back. He puts his number on the back of every package sold. So you got a week for big game coming up Sunday to get into Walmart, because Kielbasa sausage is now available at Walmart or H-E-B, where you can find not only Kielbasa sausage, but the great bacon, chorizo, and breakfast links. You're going to fire up the grill. Get some Kielbasa today.
The ESPN San Antonio 10K Payday. This hour's winning word is
bird.
Enter that word now at ESPNSA.com. Another reason it pays to listen to ESPN San Antonio all day, every day.
Great cash, homie.
Buying some pretzel sticks?
Excuse me?
This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless.
Okay.
What if you didn't eat all those pretzel sticks by the end of the month, so this store took them back?
Good luck.
That's how some wireless companies are with your data, but TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data with active service, so you keep what you pay for. Plans start at $20 a month.
Wow, that's cool.
Sir, are you bothering the customers?
Yeah, hang on.
This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control.
Available at major retailers. See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
As a minimalist, paying less for insurance is more.
Nice place. Is your house a bubble?
It's a dome. I find corners unnecessary.
At Liberty Mutual, that's how we feel about overpaying for insurance.
But I do miss having shelves.
What would you put on them?
Nothing, obviously.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I want a house.
What? All the money I spent and you think you should get?
Why shouldn't I? All the sacrifices I made for your precious little business.
That business paid for everything you have.
The business I was never paid to work for?
Oh, don't even go there.
Oh, I'm going there.
Divorce can be ugly, especially for your spouse. Call the Kalfas Law Group today. Prepare yourself before they do. 212-6969. That's 212-6969. The Kalfas Law Group, the group that specializes in divorce.
I like a bed that's really firm.
I need something a little softer than that.
Rest easy. With the Sleep Number 360 smart bed, you can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number setting.
Can it really help me fall asleep faster?
Yes, by gently warming your feet.
Okay, but can it help keep us asleep?
It senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you effortlessly comfortable. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. Save $1,000 on the Sleep Number 360 Special Edition smart bed. Queen, now $17.99. Plus free premium delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Progressive Motorcycle presents
Road Wisdom from the Motor.
The road is everything you want it to be. As long as what you want is road.
To ride your motorcycle on.
Progressive Motorcycle also presents basic policy starting at $79 a year. Progressive Motorcycle, for those who were born to ride. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy is not available in all states.
Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game Coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
It is the Blitz, and the Blitz is brought to you by the Thompson Law Firm. Jason Thompson, his name. ALawyerForUs.com is his website. His number is 210-900-0400. Call Jason as soon as you've been in an accident. Let him take care of business. That call doesn't cost you anything. Meet the attorney that will represent you. It won't be someone else, someone from San Antonio who works here in San Antonio. Jason Thompson, ALawyerForUs.com. Just confirmed, we got good news. Jeff Fisher, former coach to the
Houston Oilers.
Houston Oilers, Titans, whatever you want to call them.
And Jared Goff.
Titans, whatever you want to call them. They were blue.
Jared Goff.
Yeah, maybe. He ruined Jared Goff the first time.
Yep.
So actually, he's going to join us later in the week. He's actually up for another gig. He's up for one of those Dakota Schools head coaching gig. We might actually get him on the day he's hired. I know we actually got to interview Pat Mahomes several years back in Minneapolis, the day that Alex Smith was exited from the Chiefs. We weren't allowed to talk about it then. We might have the same opportunity when we have Jeff Fisher on.
The interesting thing going back and thinking about, we're talking to Patrick, and Alex is there. A certain representative of Mahomes, good friend of the show, might have said that things were in the works, but you can't talk about it because
don't bring it up because
done yet. And
so literally, I think it broke.
Later, An hour later, Alex Smith was actually on Radio Row. He was across the way doing NFL Network when Twitter started buzzing, and then they quickly got him out of there.
Yeah. That's what Radio Row is like. We will have several, lots and lots of Radio Row type hits today and all week long as your Dietz Tractor Big Game coverage continues, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds all week long. The good news for Coach Jason Witten, I say Coach, because that's a brand new title. It was announced today that Argyle, that little town up North Dallas, that swanky little suburb, Argyle Liberty Christian has hired Jason Witten as their new head coach. They're in TAPS 6A, big 6A, got him a private school gig. Coaching some football in North Dallas. Good for him.
I mean, look, we knew he was going to be a coach, correct? I mean, there was would he go to the University of Tennessee? Would the Cowboys put him on there? But Liberty Christian breaks the news today on their Twitter feed. Liberty Christian School is excited to announce our new head football coach, Jason Witten. Jason, former Dallas Cowboy tight end and longtime Liberty parent, will be joining the Liberty Christian coaching staff as head football coach. It's a great day to be a Warrior. Well, good for that. All right, Witt.
You think he's drawing a stipend? You think he's taking that stipend you get for being a head coach at a?
He's got 4 kids, man. Take care of the tuition. I'll coach.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's exactly it. A little break on the TUI. That'll work.
I mean, look, to start as head coach, all right, I don't know who the head coach was. I don't know if they were looking. Maybe he says, I need a year out of the NFL before I want to get into NFL coaching, or I didn't want to jump right into recruiting. But it's not the move I certainly expected him to be making a couple of weeks after his official retirement announcement.
That has ties to San Antonio. Big TAP schools like Central Catholic and Antonian always run into the likes of Argyle Liberty Christian when you get through these state playoffs. So one more roadblock to go get a title. Jason Witten, the head coach. That just seems like now he doesn't have a son playing, does he?
I don't think his kids are old enough to be in high school yet, although he has been playing for 50 years.
Yeah,
maybe. I mean, but the family photo there, I know he's got some little girls that would always show up to the game in his jersey and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if his boy is old enough to be in high school. Maybe he's freshman or something. His other boy certainly is not of high school age yet.
Good for him.
Yeah. Yeah. You remember his house was for sale there for a while. I wonder if it ever sold or did they just pull it off the market.
I just wonder how long that he'll stay and do this. I wonder if it's a passing thing. It was a desperate need. And he said, yeah, I got some free time. I'll go ahead and do this. Or if this is something that, there's nothing wrong. I think that would be absolutely awesome if he found a little niche there and became a head coach and did it for 20 years and became that kind of guy, because I would certainly want my son to play for Jason Witten at Argyle Liberty Christian. I imagine that's a pretty good recruiting tool for the school, and the never-ending arms race that is Dallas private school sports. The
recruiting
ante has been upped. Yeah, the ante is now up. Prestonwood is now very busy.
Well, and then
figure out how they can match that.
The public schools like Carroll and Allen and Highland Park. Think about the Highland Park connection now in Los Angeles with Kershaw and Stafford now playing in L.A.
So, yeah, the ever-ending nuclear arms race in Dallas continues. The 5 o'clock hour, we got a lot to talk about. Who won this Goff-Stafford deal? Was there a winner, or did it seem relatively fair? Did balance come to play? We'll look at that completely. Ross Tucker will join us, a new member of the $1 Billion Club.
Not me.
Y'all know him. There's only been a few that have done it before, and we might have a new member. It's not surprising. And no, it's not James Pledger. We all wish that it was.
No,
we got a lot to talk about.
Because if it was, he wouldn't be at work.
No, he would.
Actually, I would.
I saw something on James's social media earlier that frightened me. I thought he was under attack. There was a picture floating around on Facebook of him hiding underneath his console there in the glass bubble of fun. What was going on there, James? Was that was the place being
No, it's more of what I expect the weekend pictures to look like as I'm producing during Dietz Tractor's big game coverage, brought to you by Best Bell Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch.
That was well placed. Well done. Well done. Right there.
Who was taking those photos?
Someone with a mask.
Okay. Oh, just checking. I didn't know if you took the time to self-timer that, because I thought when I first saw the picture you were imitating that insurance commercial with the pipes and the bagpipe guy that's under the sink.
Oh no,
that's kind of what you look like.
Crying under my board.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what that was. Hey, coming back. We've got a list of the nears, also nears, and long way aways. Who is closest to the Super Bowl as we sit? We know the two that are going this year. Who's going to be going next and the years after? And where do the Dallas Cowboys fall in that hierarchy? We'll look at that coming right back here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
If your water has a bad taste or an odd smell, you need to call Alamo Water Softeners, a great locally owned, family-run business by the Townsends. Jason Minix here for Alamo Water Softeners. In San Antonio, we have some of the hardest water in the country. If you don't have a water softener, you need to get one. And Alamo Water Softeners will come out to your house, give you a free estimate. They're going to test your water. And right now, you can save $300 on select Water Care water softeners. I tell you firsthand, because I've had a water softener for years. They're fantastic, and you're going to save money as well because it will extend the life of your plumbing and appliances. You're going to get better tasting water, and you're going to instantly see the difference on the dishes coming out of your dishwasher. They won't have those water spots all over them. You'll feel the difference on your skin and hair as you get out of the shower. Alamo Water Softeners is the best value for the highest quality water treatment. On the Nextdoor app, they were voted a 2020 neighborhood favorite. Discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference and take $300 off select Water Care water softeners. Go to alamowatersofteners.com to learn more. That's alamowatersofteners.com.
We're bringing big game coverage to you all this week. Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's big game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Coverage, guests, and insight all week on the Blitz from 4 to 7.
We got 2 weeks of goat versus baby goat talk.
1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
America's Diamond offers our 5-year, 60-month financing program every day of the year. You don't have to wait for a sale to get 5-year financing with credit approval, or wait for a sale to get our guaranteed America's Diamond price, because we treat everyone fairly and with respect every day of the year. For almost 40 years, we have designed and created our extraordinary diamond jewelry right here in San Antonio. When you buy at America's Diamond, your money stays in San Antonio. Our whole company is located here and locally owned. Our kids and grandkids go to school here. All 40 of our coworkers live and shop in San Antonio for everything. Through the years, America's Diamond has supported thousands of wonderful charity events in San Antonio. We're the official jeweler of the San Antonio Spurs and of the University of Texas at San Antonio Athletics. See our television program about diamonds and jewelry tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or see it right now at americasdiamond.com.
Without more licensed workers, Gary's roofing business might hit its ceiling.
Hey, that new contract just got pushed up. We are going to need all hands on deck to make this happen.
Hey, Gary, you booked me on that other job next week.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Beachcombing, baking cookies, learning French. Aren't these what you'd rather be doing than thinking about your Medicare prescriptions? Well, Walgreens is here to help you get back to it with convenient refill and pickup options, expert pharmacists to answer all your questions, and Medicare copays as low as $0. Zero. Which is also the number of cares in the world you'll have as you stroll the beach, eating cookies and speaking French. Oh la la. Walgreens.
$0 copays apply to Tier 1 generic drugs and select plans where Walgreens is a preferred pharmacy.
Hindsight is 2020, and 2020 was a brutal year that for most of it felt out of control. But you know how you can be in control? You can be in control of your job, your career. Yes. In 2020, my computer career helped more people start IT careers than ever. Don't look back with 2020 hindsight next year and see yourself in that 2020 job. Take control. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KCDC San Antonio.
Hi, this is Lyle Collins of the Dallas Cowboys, and you're listening to 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Where the pros play. Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. Go to ESPNSA.com. You can watch us live all the time. Our YouTube feed arrives at ESPNSA.com, our Facebook feed as well. There's nothing, I love my job. Who else in the world just on there, you're just sitting at your screen, just sitting at work, and up on your screen pops up an invitation to interview Billy White Shoes Johnson on Thursday. That is why I wake up every morning with a smile on my face. Billy White Shoes Johnson will join us on February 4th. The legendary, the kick returner, the Houston Oiler with the vast white shoes. For those of us of a certain age, we all wanted to be Billy White Shoes. And I could get up and do the dance. Now I might pull a hammy while I'm doing it, but I was pretty good at it back in the day.
Well, back in the day, and I know you got to get into shape for your ski trip, so you could dance like Billy White Shoes.
That's week 3. That's week 3. I got to build up to the Billy White Shoes dance.
the cool thing, dude always has the whitest of white shoes, even now when he's rolling around Super Bowl radio. But my phone has just been nonstop. I mean, in the last hour, there you go, James Pledger. In the last hour, we've added Jeff Fisher to the week and Billy White Shoes Johnson.
That's what you get when you listen to Deets Tractor Big Game coverage, brought to you by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. All week long, we're going to be having some fun. We got Ross Tucker joining us just a few minutes away as we look to the league and catch up with one of the better NFL podcasters out there. Seriously, make sure you're following Ross, because he gets the A-listers, man. He's one of those guys that just everybody knows and everybody talks to because he talks great football.
He does, and he played for a lot of teams, so he's got he's got a lot of former teammates.
I had a cup of coffee with the Cowboys there and with the football team and various others. Let's look at the future Super Bowls. Not so much this one. We know that Kansas City's going to be here for quite some time, and Tom Brady is in effect Benjamin Button and is going to be continuing to be a part of all this. But the rest of the teams aspire to be there in the next couple of years. We saw what the Rams did. Those boys are all in, man. You can have everything we got, and in 3 years, may us both still be employed by our current teams, as Stafford leaves of Detroit for L.A. and Goff vice versa. How far away are the Dallas Cowboys per an article that you saw today?
Well, I mean, in my mind, they're always a year away, right? But what ESPN, and it's a really good. I'm not a big fan of like the list articles and all that kind of stuff, but this one was really well done with the explanations, and I thought pretty honest. And I think as Cowboy fans, it's a slap in the face because it is realistic. I mean, I heard a joke the other day talking about when COVID is over is like hearing when the Cowboys are next in the Super Bowl. It's just like, really? There seems to be some truth to that. But ESPN took 6 NFL analysts and realistically went through their current situation and when you could say they're going to be Super Bowl contenders. You got your current contenders on the cusp, a year out, 2 years out, 3 years out, or 4 or 5 years out. And it is kind of sobering that, because I would think, all right, well, get Dak signed and get that offensive line healthy. They should be on the cusp of contending. They've got the Saints in there. They got Baltimore. Seattle is in there. The Rams are in there after the Stafford trade. Not the Cowboys. Well, maybe they're in the year away category. All right.
I want to stop right here because I want to talk about these guys and whether they're ascending. The expectation is they will be better, or if they're just hanging on, trying to stay where they are and hoping things get right. Because I think when I look at these teams, I think that Seattle and the Saints, I think this is it, man. They're just kind of hanging on. I don't know what else they're going to be able to do.
See, and that's the one thing with when you read this and you go, okay, because obviously you got some people that are looking into their own crystal balls. Are the Saints on the cusp? The Saints have been on the cusp, as it even says in here, for more than a decade. But with Mickey Loomis saying they're all in. So if Drew Brees does retire, one of these quarterbacks that's going to be in play, these quarterbacks on the move, are going to end up with the New Orleans Saints because they have a win-now attitude. And maybe if you were to get one of these quarterbacks, and who knows which one, you take the other weapons that are already with the Saints, and then, of course, Sean Payton, could they be right back? Drew Brees retires, and they are ready to go. Obviously, Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston aren't going to lead them there, but what if they get in on the Deshaun talk, and they're able to add Deshaun Watson down there to New Orleans? What would that look like? Baltimore, I think, is right there. Seattle, they're always good, but but I think there's some reputation in there that, they're always going to be right there. Can they put it together? So I think that's why
the
they
top,
stay.
Those nearlies, there's a lot of question there. I mean, because I keep looking at where the Rams are just 3 years ago. And you look at these guys, a couple things go south on them. They deal with half the injuries that the Cowboys might have dealt with in key positions. Things go south really quickly. So then the next group is the still a year away. And these, obviously, these are the ascenders, right? These are the ones that, if things break right, they get a good draft, a free agent falls in the right place, and the likes of the Colts or the Browns could actually land even closer. Of course, the 49ers are going to continue to stay there, and the Titans and the Steelers, which we'll talk about. When you look at the years away, and you look at the Colts who are listed first.
So the Cowboys aren't listed in the group.
No,
that's a year away.
They're not there.
Keep that in mind.
No, they're not there.
Keep that in mind.
No, they're not there. And whether right or wrong, we'll get there. But I am curious about the Colts because they're in this strange position. Because I think universally everybody looks at the Colts and goes, but for quarterback play, this might be a team to really contend with. But they're stuck in the same division with the Texans. So you don't see anything happening on that side. What do you think the Colts can do to keep themselves a year away or less?
Well, I mean, again, I think the Colts have to go find a quarterback. Apparently, they were in play for the Stafford deal.
Mm-hmm.
And while Jared Goff got traded to the Lions, is there any guarantee that the Lions keep him, or could he be on the move once again while he, I mean, to me, there's no guarantee there. And you look at the Colts, the need to go find a quarterback. They're in the same division with Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry, the Tennessee Titans. They're going to be in the same division with that Trevor Lawrence guy who's going to go number 1 overall. And then whatever the Texans are able to get for Deshaun Watson. So, the arms race in the AFC South is certainly going to be big there. So, but again, they're a year away. They don't have a quarterback. And this is why I'm reading this list, kind of getting angry, going, well, the Cowboys have a quarterback if they get Dak signed. They got to get him signed. Cleveland was really good this year, and I think they could stay there. What
do they got to do? What do they got to do to stay there? I mean, obviously the improvement of Baker and obviously the running game we know, but what are they away from to get them to that next level? Because I can't quite put my finger on it. I can't tell if they're precarious or this is going to be a long-term thing.
Well, I mean, if they're able to trade OBJ, which has been some rumors, and they get some help there, defensively they need to be a little bit stronger. They need some help for Myles Garrett on that defensive side. The secondary had some issues, and another year of Baker Mayfield development, another weapon. But that is a run-first team. So you got a solid offensive line opening holes for Chubb and Hunt. They're going to be good. And Baker had some games this year where, he threw 4 touchdown passes in one half. So, it's not all on Baker Mayfield to go win like so many other teams. It really is on what is your quarterback doing for you. San Francisco is in here, but they're not settled on their quarterback. And so, again, as a Cowboy fan, it kind of, how is San Francisco up there? They're not settled on their quarterback. We are. Tennessee is in there. Pittsburgh's in there. But
let's talk about Pittsburgh.
Them? Who's going to quarterback the Steelers?
Now, Pittsburgh is, you want to talk about precarious. The owner's already come out and said, we can't pay Ben what we promised we could pay it. That's just not going to happen. And Ben has already come out and said, hey, I think I'm free next fall. I'll do whatever it takes to renegotiate and all that.
Money doesn't matter.
That's the situation they're in. And I'll tell you, if you'd have asked me 8 weeks ago what you thought of Pittsburgh and how much that has changed over just 2 months. I mean, 8 weeks ago, this team, while they got taken care of by the NFL, they got a couple of the benefits of the doubt when it came to COVID. They were putting up points and playing football the way I thought they needed to play to get to a Super Bowl, and the wheels fell off.
Well, the wheels fell off, but I remember saying at some point when they were 5-0, 6-0, 7-0, even going against the game against the Cowboys, that might have been the worst undefeated team that deep into the season in league history. I mean, they had some things that broke their way.
I don't care.
When they started going against them. But Ben, they've got him. Ben Roethlisberger at the end of the season did not look like a quarterback capable of playing 16 games. And you hate to see that with any player. It's kind of like Drew Brees. Oh, Saints need a deep pass. Well, let's bring in Jameis Winston so he can do it because our star cannot. And Arizona is in that list. That surprises me.
That's interesting. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think they're rising. They're certainly on their way up, but in this category, I'm not sure that they're in the in-between space. They're not quite bad. They're not quite good. They're right in the middle there. And if things go well, they draft well. You got D-Hop, you got a Murray, and you got all the stars on defense. Yeah, things might happen, but I'm not sure they qualify there.
And again, I look at this. I mean, they had 6 writers that are analysts that put this together. So Arizona must have split the vote on a lot of ways to get up into that category. The getting closer 2 years away category has Miami. Again, unsettled on a quarterback.
Yeah, but getting better.
If they get a Watson, they'll jump the list. The Los Angeles Chargers of Anaheim County, there. And now we get to the Dallas Cowboys. We finally get to the Dallas Cowboys on this list. And first thing it says, you got to get Dak Prescott signed. That is great. They've got to stay healthy. Now, if they think the Cowboys are 2 years away right now, then they're high, because the reason the Cowboys are 2 years away, they talk about their great offensive line, but they've got to get the offensive line healthy. Tyron Smith won't be on this team in 2 years. I don't know that Tyron Smith will be on this team in September. And to count on him being healthy. Zach Martin will be. La'el Collins certainly should be. We'll see what they do with the defense. But it says in here, this is the best line of this entire article, and it talks about the X factor for the Cowboys. But hoping for health in a league dominated by injuries does not seem like the best strategy.
Well, that's all we got.
Well, if we stay healthy, we can win a Super Bowl. So that's all we got. Isn't that every team hoping for health, though?
Like,
Every
no.
team
So
hopes
so
for
what's
health.
plan B? What are you talking about? Yeah, absolutely. If we stay healthy, everything should break right? It says
Absolutely.
La'el Collins. If I was just healthy, I might have been able to see a game.
I know, man.
Coming
If I was
back.
6'5", who knows? And Minnesota is the last one in that group. By the way, James, so you don't feel left out, you got to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page for the Trust the Process, 4 years out or more. You have the Houston Texans and the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cincinnati Bengals and the Detroit Lions falling into that category.
All right.
Well, that's
Just so you know.
pre-trade. This is pre-trade. There's still some story, yet to be written in this chapter. There's an end to the chapter, which might include at least 2 number ones and maybe a quarterback, or maybe a defensive end, or maybe there's still more that could be had with this Texans story. And speaking of this Texans story, one of the big trade of the weekend does certainly have some effect on this Texas story. And as the Texas story continues with Deshaun Watson and his ongoing desire to be traded, what has Voldemort been doing? Evidently, everything we were told that he wasn't going to be doing. Jack Easterby is up to his old tricks. We'll talk about the quarterback carousel in the NFL coming up next. And then very quickly after, Ross Tucker joins us as we look toward the Super Bowl. Lots of fun to be had. Hang here. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. This morning when I woke up, I had spent yesterday trimming some tree branches, and I was a little sore when I got moving this morning. Reached over to turn off the alarm and felt a little bit ache down the side of my arm. I realized right then that, I worked hard yesterday, and if it continues, I know how to get it taken care of. I'll just call a Rusty, go in, get the procedures taken care of, get the muscles all loosened up and taken care of, and I'll be out of pain in no time. And that's really what a Rusty does. Rusty all around San Antonio, lots of providers to speak of, and passionate about taking care of those soft tissue injury, those sprains and strains and overuse things that just kind of linger and nag and don't go away. And that's really the key, right? Stopping the pain. Rusty is a non-invasive procedure. It's your body healing itself, taking care of the musculature and all the things that goes along with it. Highly professional, very clean, and all you need to get yourself back in the game. Now, to go to an Rusty provider, there's 2 ways I recommend going about it. Go check out their website, Rusty.com. There you'll see a list of all the different providers. You'll see one that's close to you. I'm sure less than 10 minutes, and go ahead and make your appointment. Or here's the number. It's clearinghouse number, answered right here in San Antonio, 1-800-404-6050. Again, 1-800-404-6050. Becky Hammond, Clayton Kershaw, just to name a few that utilize a Rusty to keep themselves finely tuned and in the game. Their website is a fountain of information to keep you healthy as we go through these trying times. Here's the number you need one more time, 1-800-404-6050. When you dial it, you're not going to need a referral to go see a Rusty provider, and they're going to accept most insurance. Don't live in pain. Do not let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Calling a Rusty provider. Get out of pain soon, and I'm sure you'll thank me later.
Sundays are for the grill. The Sunday Sports Grill, 11 in the morning to 1. Chop it up and grill with former and current Rock the Mic champs Michael Jimenez and Quinn Hudson. The Sunday Sports Grill, 11 to 1 every Sunday.
Northeast Independent School District is now hiring and training school bus drivers. Whether you're looking for a new job, you're a retiree, or you're retired military, come help drive students to succeed and apply at Northeast ISD Transportation today. No experience is necessary, and you will get paid while earning your CDL and learning how to drive a school bus. The Northeast ISD Transportation Department is ranked as one of the top 100 school bus fleets in America, and our drivers receive exceptional pay and benefits, including health, dental, vision, and retirement. If you're looking for work, if you're retired from the military, or you simply want to make a difference in our community, apply now with the Northeast ISD Transportation Department. Join our team and discover Northeast ISD by calling 210-356-9229. That's 210-356-9229. Or you can text Drive Bus to 797979. That's text Drive Bus to 797979.
I'm Joel, co-founder of the company behind Super Beats. I know what you're thinking. This guy must really love beets. Well, I'd like to say yes. The truth is that when I asked our team of scientists and dietitians to find the best superfoods for promoting heart-healthy energy and supporting healthy blood pressure, they led me to beets. But we didn't stop there. I'm excited to share with you our newest product, Super Beets Heart Chews, which includes clinically researched grapeseed extract, shown to be 2 times as effective at supporting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone. Our team is committed to supporting your healthy lifestyle with products like Super Beets Heart Chews. Science-backed, plant-based, and better for you.
Get a free 30-day supply of Super Beets Chews, plus a free 30-day supply of Super Grapes with your first purchase when you shop at getsuperbeets.com/sky. That's getsuperbeets.com/sky.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Every player matters, and finding the right person can make all the difference.
In 1999, the Indianapolis Colts traded Marshall Faulk to the St. Louis Rams for a 2nd and 5th round pick. The move helped transform the Rams offense into one of the most dynamic in the history of the NFL. They became known as the greatest show on turf. Faulk won the NFL MVP in 2000, and the Rams went on to reach 2 Super Bowls, winning Super Bowl 34.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
When scouting talent, teams use all the tools at their disposal to determine the best fit for their rosters. LinkedIn Jobs works that way for your business. Post a job with targeted screening questions, and LinkedIn will quickly get your role in front of qualified candidates. Manage job posts and contact candidates from a single view as functions are streamlined onto one simple screen. And now you can post a job for free at linkedin.com/sports. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rind.
Welcome aboard. It is the Blitz. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. Ross Tucker's going to be here in just a minute. It's a big trade. I mean, it's the beginning of the offseason. Not wholly unexpected after what we heard from Rams general manager to start the week, as Snead just about said everything possible other than, yeah, we're trading this guy. We hate him. And in fact, it happened. But the chain of events, that's the first domino, right? As Stafford now lands in a playoff and Super Bowl worthy football team, Goff gets to reinvent himself in a run first kind of offense where he was successful early on with the Rams when he had Gurley behind him. Deshaun Watson continues to ask to be traded, though there are lots of talk about the Texans being playing hardball, getting uncomfortable. But you got to figure at some point they're going to come to the table. We know a lot of other teams chase Stafford. You wonder who's still in it, Jason. Before John, we got John online. One we're going to go to him, and I want you to talk about this real quick. We saw Washington seem to be in play for Stafford, and certainly that's a team needs a quarterback as they kind of bounced around with a few this year. One nearly having a career-ending injury. What would happen in the NFC East if that football team landed Deshaun?
Well, it'd be another reason to hate them. For us, I mean, they'd be really good, really fast. And Ron Rivera working, he and Cam Newton went to Super Bowl 50. I mean, Ron Rivera is that kind of coach. He needs a quarterback in his system. I don't know that Washington has the capital, pun intended, to go get a Deshaun Watson. Now, the draft capital or the player that might come back your way in return. I mean, they got a really, really, really good defensive player that, knowing that I'm also going to lose J.J. Watt, if I'm the Houston Texans GM or Jack Easterby, I want to Chase involved in that deal. But why would Washington give that up? It was easy for Detroit and in LA to include the star quarterback players because both were going to move on from that player. It's, so all the talk about, well, why didn't they get an Aaron Donald? Well, he's not up for sale. He's not a part of the talks. Sam Darnold would be with the Jets, but, why add Deshaun Watson if you're going to also lose the best defensive parts? That's why a Sam Darnold would be involved in a Jets deal. So I don't know how realistic Washington would be, but Dan Snyder has done some interesting things in the past, and he wants to splash.
Absolutely. It'd be a perfect move. John, you call the Blitz, you get on. Welcome aboard, man. You look at what Washington could do. They certainly seem to be in play. I will give you this. You talk about rehabbing an image. You land Deshaun Watson, given the turmoil that the football team has gone through over the last year. It might be a strong PR move, although you'd have to mortgage your future to do it.
Absolutely. I have a good friend that's in the D.C. area, and he forwarded me a YouTube chat video from the sports junkies up there talking to JP Finley, and he said that there's a possibility that Ron Rivera and staff would consider for someone like Deshaun 2 1s, 2 2s, and 2 of the defensive linemen, since they're fully stacked on that defensive line, to bring in someone like a Deshaun, because then they give up 2 number ones. When you're in the draft, we all know it's a crapshoot. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. With Deshaun, it's a sure thing. So if we get him in our division, it's going to get really interesting really quickly.
It would, but again, they're not going to give up a Chase Young. And when I look at
why wouldn't you? It's Deshaun Watson. Jason, literally. I'm not sure. You have 4 studs down there. It's not like that you would be bereft, but it's Deshaun. The power that he would bring, especially in the D.C. area, that seems like a nightmare for Cowboy fans, but a marriage made in heaven for the NFL and the league as they just try to fix that cesspool that has been the football team for all these years.
Let's say you put in Chase Young, but you still, what John just said, 2 1s and 2 2s. That's not enough draft capital. Are you
kidding me?
2 1s? No,
That's really 3. If you're getting Chase, that's really 3 number ones. One of them just already proven.
I want 3 that I get to go pick, plus the Chase Young. Again, I'm giving up Deshaun Watson. And part of that, too, is, Deshaun, 8 games on that crap field, he'll have bad knees in 2 years and out of the league. Ask RG3. So, you look at that. I don't think he would sign off on it, but that's not enough for me because it is Deshaun Watson.
And that's really the question, isn't it? What is the value? Because we saw what Stafford was worth.
It starts at 3 1s and 3 2s, and I want some players. I'm greedy.
It's good to be greedy now. We'll see as deadlines approach if deals will happen. Coming back, let's talk with Ross Tucker. The Ross Tucker podcast is outstanding. He's a good dude to catch up with. Let's increase your NFL IQ with Ross coming up next here on your big game coverage brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. That's your Dietz Tractor big game coverage. Ross Tucker coming up next here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
injuries do happen. So if you twist, pull, pop, snap something, you need to know about the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. You want to make the athlete's choice, even if you're not an athlete. You can hurt yourself doing a variety of things. It doesn't have to be in playing a sport. But if you do injure yourself, from a minor sprain to a compound fracture, TSAOG Orthopedics has got you covered. Not all injuries require surgery. Dr. David Espinosa treats all non-operative orthopedic injuries, and he also does concussion baseline testing. There's no reason to be in pain. So if you're hurting, you need to know about the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Telemedicine services are available through OrthoConnect. The website, tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Your home for the big game in Tampa. All this week is the Blitz from 4 to 7.
Any credit card can offer cash back, but only Discover matches all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year. It's like getting one of those birthday cards that's shaped like cash, so you already know there's cash inside before opening it. But in this case, it's stuffed with your first year cash back match, and you don't even have to send a thank you note. Cashback match. Only by Discover Card. Learn more at discover.com/match. Discover. Something brighter.
Ready to create your own income with your own home-based business where there's no such thing as getting laid off? If a billionaire entrepreneur spent 5 years and $20 million searching for the next big trend, wouldn't you want to know what he found? If you're serious about making money from home without having to leave home, then write this down. www.goherenext.com. You decide your income. Get the facts now. Goherenext.com.
Heard the good news about COVID-19 vaccines? They're here, but you can do more than wait for your turn. Here's how. Stay at least 6 feet away from folks you don't live with. And it's risky to be indoors with them too. And masks? Well, they protect both the person wearing them and the folks around them. Wear a mask, watch your distance, and make a big difference now.
Learn more about vaccines at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey, I'm Jordan, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A new Grilled Spicy Deluxe is that cilantro lime sauce that goes on it. That's just an extra kick, a flavor explosion.
Hi, I'm Catherine, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the spiciness of the chicken and the coolness of the cilantro lime sauce. It's the best of both worlds.
Chick-fil-A's Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich, available for a limited time only. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Take your romance game to a whole new level this Valentine's with Diamonds Direct's most popular offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase happening right now. You know jewelry is the perfect gift to celebrate your love. And with this incredible offer, you can afford to go big. Like a $6,000 diamond tennis bracelet, just $100 a month. Or a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings, just $50 a month. Diamonds Direct has teamed up with the world's top jewelry designers for an expanded selection of Valentine's surprises for any budget. Romantic gifts starting as low as $400. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, colored gemstones. The guaranteed largest selection, highest quality, and always the best value. Whether you shop in store or online at DiamondsDirect.com. Make this the most memorable Valentine's ever with 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase, including engagement rings. Now through Valentine's Day. Celebrate your love at Diamonds Direct.
At the shops at La Cantera.
Fact. Filing your taxes with TaxAct can feel like a cash explosion. That's because TaxAct helps you get your maximum refund guaranteed. And TaxAct costs 30% less than the big guys, which means more of this. So if you want a cash explosion of your own, switch to TaxAct. File for less and get more. Start for free at TaxAct.com. 30% less claim based on comparison of TurboTax and H&R Block federal pricing for deluxe and premier consumer online products on December 4th, 2020. Restrictions apply. See TaxAct.com for complete details.
Without more licensed workers, Gary's roofing business might hit its ceiling.
Hey, that new contract just got pushed up. We are going to need all hands on deck to make this happen.
Hey, Gary, you booked me on that other job next week.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
It is the Blitz here at SportsBook, ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. We promise to ya. Here he is, Ross Tucker. You know, we get to run into Ross every year, sit down face-to-face, catch up, do whatever you do when you have those small reunions. This year, we're going to prolong it, but we won't get to see each other face-to-face. But it's always a pleasure stopping by, Russ. We appreciate your time.
Yeah. You know what? Trust me, for a lot of reasons, I wish we were all able to be down there in Tampa, not the least of which is I've already had to shovel twice in the last 24 hours, and I'm going to have to shovel again this evening and then again tomorrow morning. I mean, guys, it's been snowing for 30 straight hours here. It's crazy.
You might have to explain to those of us that are enjoying 70-degree afternoons right now what you mean by I have to go shovel. That is a foreign concept to us, unless it's picking up after your dog in the backyard.
Well, and listen, let me just tell you this right now. The human back was not designed to shovel. Like, the human back was not designed to bend over, get a bunch of weight on the end of something, and then propel that weight forward. Or up in the air or whatever. I mean, my back's killing me. Now, I had a back surgery when I played for the Buffalo Bills, so that probably doesn't help. But, yeah, man, I am not here for shoveling.
You have all that NFL money. I know they got things that you can walk behind that have little motors on them that can blow the snow somewhere else. I've seen videos of those.
Yeah, snowblower. So, truth be told, we have a pretty long driveway. So I actually have a guy that comes up. I pay him to plow the long driveway. But I'm just talking about my sidewalk. So I haven't gotten a snowblower yet because I'm like, I don't need a snowblower just to do the sidewalks. I can just do them myself. But if this keeps up, I might be going there tonight to get a snowblower.
Ross Tucker joining us here on the Blitz. You know his podcast, the Ross Tucker podcast. But really, I want to talk a little bit about when you have to shovel. Why do you have to shovel? Is it because you want to get to your driveway? Is it just something you have to do? Is there another way to get around shoveling over and over? What? I don't understand why you need to do it more than once. Why don't you just wait till
good question. Yeah, good question. So I live in central Pennsylvania, but I have a detached garage, which is what I turned into my home office, my home studio. So to walk from, and this sounds more she than it is, but to walk from the main house to the detached garage, I have to walk on sidewalk for a little bit, then across the driveway, then more sidewalk. So literally to do my job every day, I have to walk across the driveway. So that's why I have to shovel. So like I shoveled at 4:45 a.m. Eastern this morning, and I'll be shoveling again this evening, probably right around the same time. I mean, it's just kind of a thing you got to do. So to answer your question, I think most people probably wouldn't have to shovel multiple times. The other thing, though, is like you can wait till it's over at the end, but we're supposed to get more than a foot. Then it really hurts your back.
Gotcha.
You know, you're better off like hitting it 2 or 3 times, you know, like 4 inches at a time, as opposed to trying to do the whole thing with your back.
Yeah, or find a neighbor kid and give him $20.
That's a great call. Great call.
Do something like that. Ross Tucker joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. It is Super Bowl week. You've got Tom Brady against Patrick Mahomes. Aside from those two quarterbacks, who are going to be the key players in the game Sunday?
I'd say O-line, D-line, both ways. I mean, where else am I going to go, right? But in particular, the Chiefs O-line against the Bucs D-line. Because think about it, guys. I mean, the Chiefs O-line just got worse at 3 spots. The left tackle is injured, Eric Fisher. So you've got Bremmers moved from right tackle to left tackle, so they're worse at left tackle. The right guard, Andrew Wiley, bumps out to right tackle, so they're worse at right tackle. And Stefan Wisniewski comes in at right guard, so they're worse at right guard. They're worse at 3 spots. Now they got to go up against Shaq Barrett and JPP and Sue and Vita Vea. That is the place on the field. That's the part of the game where they absolutely need the Bucs D-line to dominate. It's hard for me to picture the Bucs winning this game without their defensive line dominating.
Ross Tucker joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. And isn't that the thing with this game is you look at what Kansas City doesn't have, and most people just look at it, well, they're just going to scheme around that, so you don't have tackles. It's easy to win without tackles when you got Patrick Mahomes. But the expectation is the Tampa defense may be able to step up, but not nearly to the cue as we look forward to the Super Bowl. As the quarterback carousel continues to turn, let's look outside the game really quickly, because following your Twitter feed has been outstanding. And, watching Stafford move and then your thoughts on what's going to happen in San Francisco and maybe even New England. As this all shakes out with the price that was paid for Stafford, how does it affect the rest of the free agents and movable parts for the quarterbacks this offseason?
Well, certainly I think it means the price for Deshaun Watson goes up even a little more. And I know people talk about the fact that Goff was sort of a negative for the Lions and that they had to take on his contract. And I can see that. But listen, Goff's a competent quarterback. I mean, he's not some terrible quarterback. Think about all the games he's won, all the games where he's played very well. I don't think it's right that people treat Goff like he's terrible. I think, in fact, one of the things I like the most about this trade is I really can't stand lazy narratives. I really can't stand built-in excuses. So what's cool about it now is they no longer exist, for both Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay. The deal with Stafford was always, but he's with the Lions. He'd be awesome anywhere else. It's just the Lions franchise. Well, we're about to find out. And then with the Rams and McVay, it's McVay's the man. Goff just sucks. If he didn't have Goff, he'd be great. Okay, well, let's find out. He doesn't have Goff anymore. So let's see what happens. Let's do it.
It's going to be interesting to see how it works out. And for the Lions, you get all those picks. And in 2 years, they could cut Goff if he doesn't work out, not have any dead money, or he might prove to be actually a better quarterback than what people are talking about now. It's interesting when you look at that draft class, and then you go back to Dak Prescott, who, as we speak right now, still does not have a contract, a long-term deal with the Cowboys, but he's the only one from that draft class that still has the starting job with the team that he was drafted by.
Yeah, isn't that unbelievable? I mean, it really is. And to your point, I think Goff has essentially 2 years, maybe only one, to show that he can be the guy in Detroit. Now, that said, they're going to really run the ball with my former teammate, Dan Campbell, and they bring in Anthony Lynn and Deuce Staley. They're going to really run the crap out of the ball. And Goff's been good in play action. That's actually when he's at his best. So I think he might play pretty solidly there.
Now, you mentioned you were teammates with Dan Campbell as we visit with Ross Tucker here. I got to get your impression as a guy that knows him, and I know that, one of my old co-hosts, at Wynn, knows Campbell very, very well, Dan Campbell. What did you make of his opening press conference?
That's him. I mean, that's him. That's Dan. I mean, he was authentic. He was genuine. I don't know if he needed bite the second kneecap. You know what I mean? I mean,
if you're going to get one
I
kneecap,
think biting
you might as well
one
get them
kneecap
both.
would have been sufficient. he probably didn't need to bite the second kneecap. But look, that's him, man. He is an absolute big-time blocking tight end, feisty, physical. And I think he just wanted to send a message to the Lions fan base as much as any about what they're going to be about. And I think it worked. I think he fired up the Lions fans.
Ross Tucker joining us here on the Blitz as we look forward to what looks like going to be one of the more hyped Super Bowls amongst quarterback lovers we'll ever see. And it's just starting. What kind of level do you see Tom Brady reaching as far as the praise and adoration that'll reach a crescendo by Sunday. Hometown, all that. I saw the front page of the Tampa Bay local newspaper about the "Let the Love for Brady Begin" or the "Love Flow" or something like that. This guy's ascending to the level, the likes of which I don't think I've ever seen an NFL player reach. Is that your feeling as well?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think he already has. I think the conversation now is about Michael Jordan. It's about, Muhammad Ali. I mean, you name it, maybe Bill Russell, whoever you think are the all-time great athletes ever in team sports. That's what we're talking about now. I mean, to be in his 10th Super Bowl, to have won 6 of them, maybe win a 7, it's just he's putting the bar so high that it's incredibly difficult to ever imagine anyone actually coming to that, getting even close to him at this point.
So the game is on Sunday. I know it's only Monday afternoon right now, Monday evening. Are you ready to make predictions for this week? Do you have a prediction for who you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
Sure. I mean, why not? Let's do it. Look, here's what I say.
It's
only
right? Monday?
Yeah, I don't care. I
changed 9 times.
If both teams play their A game, I think the Chiefs win, right? And then you can say the same thing, B game, C game, whatever. The only way in my mind the Bucks win is if they play their A game and the Chiefs play kind of like a B game. I think that's possible, but I'm not going to predict that to happen. I think it's Chiefs 27-24. I said on the Even Money podcast that I like the under, if anything. I don't really have much on the line. I think that they nailed the 3-point line. But I don't think it's going to be quite as high scoring as, the sports books have up right now.
Ross, with Tampa at home, does it help them to be at home at all, given it's the Super Bowl, or is it maybe a detriment considering what you miss out on when you do actually get to go to a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that they don't get all the other stuff that goes along with the Super Bowl. It's almost like they get the nice consolation prize of their team actually being in it. And for most people, by the way, that's not a consolation prize. That was the goal. But I do like the fact that if they weren't able to actually have all the parties and have everybody come down and all the revenue and all the stuff that goes along with it, that they're at least getting their team in it, which is pretty darn cool.
It is very, very – and again, like Kansas City, what are they going down Saturday? It's, Tampa Bay. Well, I mean, it's just like a normal game Sunday for a home game. It's going to be interesting. Now, Ross Tucker, you do so much on the podcast and the media, everything else that you're doing, and we need to help you get a snowblower. Tell us about myfrontpagestory.com so we can help this man get himself a snowblower.
All right. Well, it's the greatest Valentine's Day gift ever. You talk to a writer for 10 minutes while you're driving to Chipotle or whatever. You tell them how great your wife is. They write the most unbelievable story. It looks like it's on the cover of the newspaper. It's framed. It's beautiful. Pictures of you and her. And the key is, when you give it to her, to be able to say, hey, babe, I want to do something special for you this year, so I had a story written about you. Unbelievable. Like, just be able to say that. Who gets a story written about somebody, and then when she actually reads it, she sees the quotes from you, she will cry. I'm just telling you, you will win. She will cry. myfrontpagestory.com, myfrontpagestory.com.
I can speak from experience, myfrontpage.com, myfrontpagestory.com. We did it for my mother's 80th birthday last year. And it really is a truly moving thing. It was well written, put together perfectly. It's suitable for anywhere you'd want to put it. It's ideal, and you got enough time. They get it taken care of. You can get it back for Valentine's Day. Go check it out. It's myfrontpagestory.com. A great gift to give, not just for Valentine's, but for a variety of occasions. If you want to remember it with poetic and perfect words that are put together, that like you'll find there at myfrontpagestory.com. It really is worth it. Ross, thanks for stopping by, man. Next time we see each other, you're buying, so let's look forward to it happening soon.
My pleasure. Thank you guys for having me. Take care.
Ross just bailed, man. He didn't respond to he's buying kind of stuff. That was Ross Tucker, Ross Tucker podcast. Come on, man. Just put some money toward the beer and the snowblower. Hey, today is February the 1st. You are on the clock, gentlemen, for Valentine's. We're almost there. And if you want to do it right, cash for couples. We got it going on right here. We're giving away $500 to 2 lucky couples to treat themselves this February. You want to treat your significant other to a weekend getaway or something nice like that? Well, how about ESPN San Antonio giving you $500 to go do that? We'll be right back with that. And go to ESPN SA to get yourself signed up. When we come back, we're looking forward to a great 6 o'clock hour. We're talking bets with Dave Mason of BetOnline.com. But guess who's a brand new billionaire? We'll tell you who it is coming up next. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
And even if you're not a billionaire, you want to protect what you have. So you need to know about my friends over at BSG. Jason Minix here. BSG is the company that brings you the best in home security and smart home technology. You want the peace of mind the security system offers because you want to protect your family in your home. The security system in my home is from BSG. The video cameras, video doorbell, the other features, they're fantastic, easy to use, and all in one app. Get a free basic smart home security system right now for as low as $29.95 a month. Free installation, no money down, no activation fee, and no payments for the first 6 months on select home security system packages. Learn more at bsgtexas.com/radio. I love the security system in my home, and BSG installed the same system at my mom's home. Large, easy-to-use LCD screen, and the icons on the panel are the same as on the app. If my mother can use it, you can as well. It's easy to use, and it gives you that great peace of mind. BSG is San Antonio's home technology company, a great local company built on trust, quality, and safety. They're the best in the industry. Call 210-877-1222, 877-1222, or the website bsgtexas.com/radio. That's bsgtexas.com/radio.
The ESPN San Antonio 10K Payday. This hour's winning word is GOAT. Enter that word now at ESPNSA.com. Another reason it pays to listen to ESPN San Antonio all day, every day.
Great cash, homie.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Take your romance game to a whole new level this Valentine's with Diamonds Direct's most popular offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase happening right now. Jewelry is the perfect gift to celebrate your love. And with this incredible offer, you can afford to go big. Like a $6,000 diamond tennis bracelet, just $100 a month. Or a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings, just $50 a month. Diamonds Direct has teamed up with the world's top jewelry designers for an expanded selection of Valentine's surprises for any budget. Romantic gifts starting as low as $400. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, colored gemstones. The guaranteed largest selection, highest quality, and always the best value. Whether you shop in store or online at DiamondsDirect.com. Make this the most memorable Valentine's ever with 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase, including engagement rings, now through Valentine's Day. Celebrate your love at Diamonds Direct.
At the shops at La Cantera.
The Kalpas Law Group is here for you. Have you been injured in an automobile accident? Your hopes, dreams, and plans all turned upside down? If you've been injured in a serious accident and you need help, contact the Kalpas Law Group immediately at kalfaslaw.com. That's CALFAS law.com. Answers, results, success. Visit kalfaslaw.com today for a free consultation. That's CALFAS law.com.
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app. Connect with your favorite radio shows through contests, social media, and podcasts. Create custom alarms with your favorite radio stations. All free with the radio.com app.
Good afternoon. Would you like to try a free sample of our double fudge brownie?
Oh, sure. That's very good. I'll just take one more, just to be sure. Yep, still very good.
Some things never change, like never being able to take just one free sample. And Geico saving folks lots of money on their car insurance.
Is that macadamia nut I taste? You take one more.
Sir.
Yeah, I thought so.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
The 55th Super Bowl is this weekend, and DraftKings, the official daily fantasy sports partner of Super Bowl 55, has up to $55 million in total prizes up for grabs. Download the DraftKings app and use code BART to enter the free $55 million Super Bowl prediction challenge. Everyone gets an instant prize up to $25,000 just for playing. That's code BART, only at DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of Super Bowl 55. Terms, conditions, and eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
Welcome aboard. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. Hope you had a fine weekend. It is our big game coverage week. We're going to be joined post-haste with a gambling expert, he of BetOnline.ag. Dave Mason will join us. We're going to look at the prop bets as it's time to start landing some money on some ridiculous propositions to see if you can choose the right side of the coin. I wonder what the strange circumstances regarding the game itself, how it will affect the different prop bets that are available. He'll be around the corner with us. So use that segment to make money as it will. Speaking of making money, looks like LeBron James is joining a rather exclusive club. Tiger Woods, Floyd Mayweather, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi have already joined the billion-dollar plateau. It looks like LeBron is about to join it. Will become the next billion-dollar athlete.
You know, it's amazing when you think 5 athletes have made $1 billion. And when you look at LeBron and the way he's playing, and Tom Brady, you know, they're about the same age, you know, still going at 43. And Tom Brady's not even close. The difference between basketball money and football money, but then the endorsement money that comes with the basketball players. And you look at, you know, the shoes and everything else that comes along with it. But to think $1 billion and 2 of those dudes are soccer players.
Yeah, soccer seems to play quite well. You know, the crazy thing about the way LeBron made it is, you know, he has made more from endorsements over the last 10 years of his career than any of the money that he's made on the basketball court. And it just kind of goes to show that the $1 billion is attainable. I remember it felt like it took, you know, Michael took a long time to get there. It certainly, LeBron's been earning money since he was, you know, what, 20 years worth, 18, 19 years worth of money. We're not going to count the money that he made in high school, but the, with whatever could have occurred prior to that. But the dude, $1 billion and still going. And I figure as his shoe brand continues to grow and all of his other profitable investments, it is not a plateau. This is going to continue to sky. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit that LeBron, even at this age, could double that money in the next couple of years. He could be the first $2 billion athlete.
Well, and again, I mean, you talk about doubling at $2 billion, but think about this. According to Front Office Sports, more than half of James's earnings, about $700 million, have come off the court. He's earned more from endorsements, memorabilia, and media than his playing contract since 2010.
It's good to be the king as LeBron James continues to rise in the ranks of the best paid athletes and spokespersons around the world. Good for him. And, you know, his team's looking pretty good, too. We're going to talk NBA.
The Super Bowl. He's going to get there, too.
Well, yeah, Mahomes, you know, it's funny how we framed the debate, you know, who's the GOAT and the little GOAT. Patrick Mahomes is primed to make so much ridiculous money. He'll be, you know, I forget the name of the rule, but how, you know, technology doubles every 7 years or whatever, that kind of thing. I think Pat Mahomes' earning value is going to be double that of LeBron, which was double that of Michael Jordan, because it just seems like he is truly the golden ticket, whether he wins this weekend or not, whether he attains what we expect to be just about an unbreakable record from Brady with all the Super Bowls and the like. You just feel like Mahomes is just going to continue to just kind of float into the ether of greatness and pay. Let's talk some gambling. Dave Mason of BetOnline is going to join us. We're also going to look at the Texans and the mess that they continue to be, as Jack Easterby is not doing what we were told he was going to do. He's doing more than that. And Game Night San Antonio, Jill Jelnick will join us, our Spurs insider from Sports Tonight in YOLO, as we get ready for the Memphis Grizzlies. The the rematch after the beatdown that happened on Saturday night. Man, we got a lot to talk about. Hang around. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Jason Minix here for New Breaks, nubreaks.com. They're a mobile brake shop. They will come to you to fix your brakes. Now, I know nobody thinks about having to get the brakes done until you know they're going bad, or if you think you're going bad, and then just dealing with it. I had a friend of mine, Roland, hit me up this morning going, man, I don't have time to go to the shop. Are those guys from New Breaks really good? Well, yes, they are. They're great at what they do. Go read all their 5-star reviews. And at New Breaks, they've made getting your brakes repaired easy, convenient, and affordable because they will come to you. Your home, they'll come to your office while you continue to do whatever it is you're doing. If you've got a Zoom meeting, you're working from home, you could be taking a nap or watching a game. It doesn't matter. They will come to you to fix your brakes. Most repairs are done in less than an hour. They only use premium brake parts, and they back all the repairs with a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty, and they only fix brakes. They're great at what they do. Mention my name or ESPN San Antonio. You can save 10% when you schedule your appointment at nubreaks.com. Nubreaks.com, nubreaks.com.
ESPN San Antonio is giving you 12 chances a day to win the 10K payday. Listen each hour weekdays between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. for the winning word. When you hear it, enter it at ESPNSA.com, and it could be your 10K payday. Must be 18 years or older to play. The contest is being conducted by a large number of Alpha radio stations nationwide, and one winner will be chosen. For complete details, visit ESPNSA.com. Another way it pays to listen to ESPN San Antonio all day, every day.
Fever is a leading symptom of the coronavirus, so take your temperature twice a day with the Exergen Temporal Scanner. It's quick and easy to use, and its accuracy is backed by more than 80 clinical studies. Have your family start and end their day with the only home thermometer used and recommended by hospitals, doctors, and nurses. Your family can take their temperatures in seconds to know where they stand in the fight against COVID-19. Protect your family from the spread of this deadly disease and stay safe with Exergen.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Well, San Antonio, it's official. 2020 is hindsight, and it couldn't happen soon enough. Chip Ingram here from the Roop Home. As 2021 takes over, we're excited for NFL playoffs, the new look Spurs, and the prospect of life without masks and curfews and daily briefings. I want to thank you personally for your support through one hell of a year and invite you to keep coming back to the Roop Home, located at 281 in Redland Road. See you at the Roop.
I like a bed that's really firm.
I need something a little softer than that.
Rest easy. With the Sleep Number 360 smart bed, you can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number setting.
Can it really help me fall asleep faster?
Yes, by gently warming your feet.
Okay, but can it help keep us asleep?
It senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you effortlessly comfortable. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. Save $1,000 on the Sleep Number 360 Special Edition smart bed. Queen, now $17.99. Plus free premium delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Wendy's new classic chicken sandwich is now in the 2 for $5, and that's reason to celebrate. Try the new classic and then take your mouth on a victory lap with the iconic Dave's Single, the delicious spicy chicken sandwich, spicy or crispy 10-piece nuggets, or just get another classic chicken sandwich. Taste greatness today with Wendy's 2 for $5. We got you.
For a limited time, a la carte only. Price and participation may vary. U.S. Wendy's.
KCDC San Antonio.
This is Daryl Johnson. You're listening to San Antonio Sports Leader, 1250 ESPN San Antonio.
And 94.5 FM, where the pros play. Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at ESPNSA.com. Welcome aboard a good old Monday afternoon. Don't mind them brake lights. We're taking you all the way home, all to 7 o'clock this hour. We're going to talk some prop bets and what we're going to lay some money on with Dave Mason of BetOnline.ag in just a bit. We're doing Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by Mellow Mushroom at 6:30 as Jill Jelnick, our Spurs insider from Sports Tonight in Yolo, Texas, will join us as we look forward to a Memphis Grizzlies rematch and revenge game. But in the meantime, it's time to put your money where your mouth is. Let's find some appropriate prop bets. Let's speak with Dave Mason, brand manager from BetOnline.ag. Dave, welcome aboard, man. We're excited about this. And I'm curious, Dave, as we're playing a game with not a lot of crowd, how much does the lack of crowd and the lack of environment affect the line and everything that's going into this week?
Not at all. Not, the Super Bowl to neutral field anyways. So even though it'd be in Tampa, it really wouldn't affect the home field advantage either way, if there was a crowd, if there wasn't a crowd. So that's not really going to affect too much. All season, of course, no crowd lowered the home field advantage significantly, but it's not going to really impact it too much here for the Super Bowl.
As we sit here on Monday and we saw 2 Chiefs players, Dave, that got put in the protocols, they could still be available to play because they didn't test positive. It's about tracing. But as you're looking at laying some money on this game, is it smarter to wait for the last minute to see who's available, who's not, or would you get your bet in early before the line starts fluctuating throughout the week?
Yeah, I mean, that's such a unique situation for this year, correct? So, stuff like that. I mean, if you wait, stuff like that's going to even out at the end of the season. I mean, you could get, you could be on the right side of that, or you could be on the wrong side of that, something like that. You know what I mean? So that kind of stuff is going to even out on the long run. So I'm always, I always, you bet when you like that number, and the softer numbers are earlier in the week. By kickoff, that number is as sharp as it's going to get. So there's going to be less value later in the week as there would be earlier in the week or even early last week. But again, if God forbid the Holmes or Brady tested positive or something, that line's going to get absolutely wacky. So, but again, if you could be on the right side of that or the wrong side of that. So you can't handicap that. So, I say just bet when as early as possible and lock in the money before the numbers are sharp.
Brand manager from BetOnline.ag, Dave Mason, joining us here on our big game coverage brought to you by Dietz Tractors, AA Best Bail Bonds. The national anthem is the low-hanging fruit. That's what we kind of judge every prop bet on. It kind of starts there. And Jasmine Sullivan and Eric Church are offering us the national anthem. Any scouting reports on those guys? What side of the line do you feel like we should land on here?
Yeah, I mean, we're going into kind of blind. There wasn't really a lot of intel out there, when we created the number. Usually you find out who's going to do the national anthem, and you can go on YouTube, and they'll have, 2, 3, or 4 samples out there that might have done the MLB All-Star game or this or that, the other thing. So you kind of just watch all those and get a feeling, but there wasn't really anything out there for Jasmine Sullivan. So we just put up 2 minutes flat, which is kind of the average. The national anthem is always like between 1 minute and 48 seconds and 2 minutes and 11 seconds. So, we just went 2 minutes flat, and bettors are betting the over, I believe. And, there will be intel that comes out because they're going to have a dress rehearsal. And at that dress rehearsal, there's going to be a security guard with a stopwatch that some bookie is paying them a lot of money to get this information, or some wise bettor says paying them information to get that information. And once that information goes out, that number is going to move. So I doubt very much it'll be 2 minutes after that dress rehearsal, and they could go, minute 52 seconds, or it could go 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Who knows? But I think all the bookies here, including us here at BetOnline.ag, we're kind of going in blind on this one.
No, some of the things that you're not blind on are some of the other prop bets. And I'm looking at the list of, all right, some of the fun ones. Who's going to get the first touchdown, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill at 13-2, Evans at 10. I mean, what are the fun prop bets that you like to see, or that to you are the most entertaining to hang on to throughout the game?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have our fun here at BetOnline.ag with these Super Bowl props. You know, we have the biggest offer, and we have everything from the standard stuff, like, you know, the stuff that gets bet big time, like the Mahomes over under passing yards, Brady over under passing yards, of course the coin toss, and all the national anthem stuff. I mean, we just halftime show, whatever event there is within the game or even before the game, we try to have props for it. I mean, you know, something like this year, you know, the masks, the coaches wearing these masks and struggling with their masks has always been a big story, kind of a funny storyline this year. And so we have, you know, a prop bet on that. We have, you know, Bruce Arians and Andy Reid, whose nostrils will we see first, you know, as long as if the mask starts slipping down and they have a mask wardrobe malfunction, and whose nostrils will we see first. So we just have fun. We pile as much out there as we can. You know, national anthem is a good example of how you just keep expanding stuff. You know, it used to be just over under national anthem time, and then went to, okay, what's that person going to wear? And like a couple of years ago, I'm watching national anthem, and I noticed, you know, they're just showing all these players and coaches during the national anthem. So that's a prop. You know, who's going to get shown first? Kelce or Gronk or Mahomes or Brady, Reed or Arians, et cetera. Will a player have his hand over his heart, yes or no? So, you know, you just keep on expanding on the offering, and our list is just bigger than ever this year. So people love betting on it, man. You know, it's a lot of fun. A lot of people talk about it. It gives us a lot of buzz, and it's fun for us to do. But, you know, sometimes it is challenging grading these things. We can have some issues once in a while. Seems like every Super Bowl there's some prop where it's like, you know, it's like players are like, whoa, you graded it this way, should have been this way. So, you know, there's a lot of gray area in some of these. But, you know, we're always generous with our players, and these props are kind of for fun. But people bet the heck out of them. So, you know, there is a lot of money coming in on them.
An absolute tradition. BetOnline.ag. We're joined by Dave Mason, the brand manager there at BetOnline.ag. I'll tell you what, they make it awfully easy to go in there and find some fun things to bet on. And as you get closer and closer, Dave, as we look at these different prop bets and how one thing leads to another, we talk about the length of the national anthem, and you tie that in with the length of the shortest drive. Then we're talking some prop bets that play into the actual game. And then we look at the weekend and his set list and what could be first in what his halftime performance. Lots of ways to lay some money, and BetOnline.ag makes it awfully easy. Dave, thanks for stopping by, man. We're excited about all this.
Thanks a lot. Take care and good luck on the game.
Dave Mason of BetOnline.ag, no doubt. Go check out the site. We scratched the surface of hundreds of different prop bets that if you feel comfortable about it and a couple of bucks here and there, might walk away with some money and have fun at the same time.
See, and that's, you know, and again, everybody has their own ways of betting. To me, the anthem, well, I'm either in a good mood or a bad mood before kickoff. So I try to stay away from the anthem. But I'm looking like Travis Kelce right now. Total receptions is at 8.5. Kelce's going to have more than 8 receptions in this game.
I'd like to think. But 8.5 seems to be what Vegas has, and Vegas seems to be right more often than not. That's why
you should go down on that, Jason.
But I'm thinking, you know, you're without a tackle. You got a backup offensive lineman. You're going to scramble and find your security blanket in a hurry. 8.5. His receiving yards is 102.5. See, I don't know that I'm going to go 102, but a lot of short passes because Mahomes is getting rid of it in a hurry. I can't believe that the line is 3 and that the over-under is at 56 total points. That to me makes me nervous because I want to say, well, there's no way. But then I'm thinking, well, Vegas is always right. What do they know?
Vegas is always right. Or should we start talking about New Jersey is always right? Have you seen where New Jersey has now passed Vegas and did every month of last year, took a bigger take than the Vegas books did?
Well, I think that has more to do with people aren't going to Las Vegas right now than
that was prior to the lockdown, and they had started the trend back in 2019. Jersey sports books take more than Vegas now. Crazy.
You know, I'm trying to think how much. I mean, you know, and speaking of, we'll have Doug Kazarian on tomorrow.
Yeah.
and always fun to talk gambling and stuff with Doug Kazarian from ESPN. And you talk about the importance of gambling in this world. They built a whole set in Las Vegas. But if you're going to Vegas, you're not spending the whole time in the book. You got other things that you're going to do in other places that you're going to gamble. You're in New Jersey. You got a gazillion people in the tri-state area that are going over to spend some money. So I actually, it surprises me, but it doesn't when you think about it.
I'm curious if Texas will jump on that bandwagon to bring in the extra funds, as it's about time. We've got books all around us, but not in Texas.
I'm gonna play bookie here, and I've asked a variety of politicians on this show this question: what do we get in Texas first, legalized marijuana or gambling?
Both. I think if one passes, the other will happen. First, I think they both literally happen. But I do believe it'll be legalized marijuana first. I do believe that
a big part of that is the amount of money that lobby groups from like Vegas and Louisiana and other places where there's gambling, the amount of money they spend in this state to keep that from happening.
Lance Zierlein reports that Texans executive and soothsayer Nostradamus, Jack Easterby, Voldemort, is still making calls to agents on behalf of the team. Weren't we told he wasn't going to do that? When we come back, let's look at where the Texans sit after the big Stafford and Goff deal. What's going to happen next? And, is Easterby doing this on purpose, or had he never stopped as Deshaun continues to complain? Then we'll talk Spurs with Jill Jelnick as we get ready for the Memphis Grizzlies. Hang around. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but as if it does happen every day, it does. And, whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go to the website, mybestbailbonds.com. You can even start the bonding process there online. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail. And you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option, AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, a free shuttle service. They're open 24/7 to get you out fast, discreet, and confidential. And they have offices all over San Antonio and Texas, up in Dallas, down in Corpus, in the Valley, anywhere in between, and services nationwide. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, 225-2121, or online, mybestbailbonds.com.
Game Nights The Blitz focuses on your silver and black in depth for 30 minutes. Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom.
This is Matt Bonner.
Spend your game nights with us. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Heard the good news about COVID-19 vaccines? They're here, but you can do more than wait for your turn. Here's how. Stay at least 6 feet away from folks you don't live with. And it's risky to be indoors with them, too. And masks? Well, they protect both the person wearing them and the folks around them. Wear a mask, watch your distance, and make a big difference now.
Learn more about vaccines at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey, I'm Jordan, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A new Grilled Spicy Deluxe is that cilantro lime sauce that goes on it. That's just an extra kick, a flavor explosion.
Hi, I'm Catherine, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the spiciness of the chicken and the coolness of the cilantro lime sauce. It's the best of both worlds.
Chick-fil-A's Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich, available for a limited time only. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Without more licensed workers, Gary's roofing business might hit its ceiling.
Hey, that new contract just got pushed up. We are going to need all hands on deck to make this happen.
Hey, Gary, you booked me on that other job next week.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World.
The year is 2019, and someone is waiting for the previews to start in a movie theater.
Hey, you want anything? Popcorn? Soda? No, nothing.
This has been The Sounds of the Old World.
Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Yo, SA, San Antonio, Spurs Nation. This is your man, Robert Ory, Big Shot Bob. And I want you to check out my new podcast, The Big Shot Bob Pod. We'll always be talking hoops, football, sports, and I'm going to bring you some big guests like the one and only Shaquille O'Neal in our premiere episode.
I know I didn't come in training camp the best of shape, but
well, you did one time.
Yeah,
subscribe now to the Big Shot Bob Pod on the Podcast One app, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
Welcome aboard. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at ESPNSA.com. Don't forget, all week long, we keep you covered in ways to win some serious squalor. We've got, let's see, our Cash for Couples, our New Brakes Mobile Brake Repair Cash for Couples contest is underway right now. Go to ESPNSA.com, get yourself signed up. $500 to treat your significant other right on this Valentine's Day. And all you got to do is go sign up again on your New Brakes Mobile Brake Repair Cash for Couples. Another way it pays to listen to ESPN San Antonio all day, every day. We're getting ready for Spurs tonight. They got the Grizz on tap in just a couple of minutes. Jill Jelnick will join us for Mellow Mushrooms Game Night San Antonio. But in the meantime, Jack Easterby's a busy man. Not only does he see, he takes care of all of the counseling and the spiritual needs of all of the Houston Texans, but evidently is also involved in talent acquisition. We were told by Cal and the likes of Nick Casario that he would have nothing to do with that, but evidently, according to Lance Zierlein, that's not the case.
No, and it's interesting because, wasn't Easterby going to be moved over to more of the business side, and that could force Jamie Roots out, and he had nothing to do with football operations and blah, blah, blah. Zierlein says that Easterby is, quote, still making calls to agents on behalf of the team and is very much involved in the football side. He's still kind of behaving like the general manager. I mean, do you think he's just saying, well, I got to return all these phone calls because, Watson wasn't happy. And because I was interim, all the people don't read the news, so they're just calling me. So I'm just returning those calls. It makes no damn sense.
Well, it makes sense in the grand. No, it doesn't make any sense that he's still doing this, but it makes sense by Deshaun Watson's reaction. I mean, he never bought into the fact that Easterby was not going to be in control. The moment that they went out and didn't hire who evidently was the choice by Korn Ferry and the Blue Ribbon Committee, I think Deshaun backed out because he knew if at this point you still are going to have him involved. At this point, what's to tell me he never will be again? And to hear Zierlein, that tells me again that the Texans knew that Deshaun was going to leave and quite frankly did not care, wanted him out the building, and we're going to continue doing what Cal and his boys wanted to do, and we'll make a deal when it comes time. But until then, we're going to make everybody nervous and everybody sweat.
It makes zero sense. I go back to what Jimmy Johnson said the other day on ESPN television on First Take. Unless it's the owner, if there's somebody in that front office that Deshaun Watson doesn't like, get rid of him. He's not more important than Deshaun Watson. And whatever it is between Watson and Easterby, why Cal McNair is sticking with Easterby over Deshaun Watson. I mean, organizations wait forever to find a quarterback like what you have in Deshaun Watson. And they are paying Easterby a ridiculous amount of money for whatever it is he is supposed to be doing. And that's the other part. I don't know that he has a really defined job title. Everybody's got a job description and this, and other duties is assigned. I don't know what all his other duties are, but it seems to be anything and everything he wants to do. It almost comes across reading this report. While Nick Casario is the GM, Jack Easterby is still the guy that Casario goes to before they go to Cal. He's like the guy that, you bring it to Jack, and if Jack can solve the problem, Jack will solve the problem before they bother Cal McNair. Doesn't it kind of come across that way, that he still holds that kind of power?
Kinda. Yeah, it kind of feels like that. Jack Easterby is like Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. He's pulling all the strings. He's the puppet master. He doesn't go away. No matter how much they try to stress and lie to us that he's doing other stuff, he continues to play a daily role in the operations of the Texans, both on the manpower side and on the business side, whatever the hell that is that he's handling. So yeah, this is where we sit now it's just a matter of how they want to handle the Deshaun deal and how hot the market is. Is it because the Stafford Goff deal happened? Is the market ripe to get something done? Or are the Texans going to let the burner kind of cool down and everybody kind of go into their separate corners and try to manufacture an improved relationship that's not going to work? You just feel like at some point Deshaun's going to end up having to sit out.
I don't know if Deshaun would sit out, and if he did, there's just so much money at stake. I don't know that he sits out, but I do expect to trade somewhere long before the draft. If you're the Texans, you got to move him right now. You've got to move him before you get to the combine and the draft, so you have a clear direction of what your draft capital is going to be. With that would be what a smart organization would do. And again, while the Texans haven't been a smart organization, they do have some smart guys running it now, or sort of running it now, in Nick Caserio and what he is supposed to be doing. And you'll always question the smartness because of what you got from the D-Hop trade. And again, we all thought, you got rid of the dumb when Bill O'Brien got fired, but as long as Easterby is still there, there's still going to be that question mark when it comes to what their motives are, what their moves are. But I do think if they end up moving Deshaun Watson, it has to be before the draft, because you want to get picks in this year's draft. You want to know what you're going to do. You can't go into the season. I mean, and hell, and if Easterby is on the business side, imagine Jack Easterby going to the meeting with, I don't know, HEB or Academy or, the Budweiser. I'm thinking some of their major sponsors there. And, you go through the PowerPoint and you're asking for the 6-figure sponsorship deal. And yeah, and by the way, we're getting rid of our quarterback and we're getting rid of Watt and Mr. HEB. We got to redo all the commercials that you have the star players with, because none of those guys that have been featured in the HEB commercials are still on the team. And I have no idea who we're going to get to be in those commercials, because we don't know who's on our team.
As the court, no, we don't, not yet.
We're looking at the Dallas commercial status.
This just in, Toro's requested a trade.
I mean, Toro might be thrown into whatever trade happens.
Well, does he have to take all the uniforms, or just wear his
just
special
take your head
blue
and
one?
Go home.
Take your head, Toro.
Although I'll
real
trade
quickly,
Toro for Rowdy any day of the week.
Dan Cilio, a good friend. We've met Dan before of the Dan Cilio show. Stirred up the pot today, saying that the Cowboys were going to just give him the same give Dak Prescott the same contract they offered last year, 5 years, 175, whatever that number was, and just run it all back. But that probably isn't the case, according to David Malagueta, Dak Prescott's agent, correct?
Well, no, Malagueta's
not Malagueta, Dak Prescott's agent. I'm sorry.
He did the Malagueta thing as well, and Malagueta responded to the tweet saying it's not true. In fact, he said, #Malagueta, somebody I speak to on a regular basis. It doesn't get a better source than what you're getting from the agent, although I don't know how much I believe from agents either. But yeah, you look at Dan Cilio, and again, he is a well-connected guy. I don't know who he's always talking to, but he tweets a lot of stuff out there that you go, really? What? I'm glad that Malagueta clapped back a little bit on the Twitter today to set him straight.
How far off the point do you think he is? I don't think he's that far off.
Well, I mean, I think that's, kind of a big part of, Dan is well connected. He talked to somebody, but for Dan Cilio to tweet that Malagueta's agent informed the Texans he will not be reporting to any offseason team activities if they're allowed. He wants out. Malagueta said that's not true. So
I don't think he's that far off.
Well, see, but I don't know. If Watson wants to get paid, he's still got to show up to work out. He's got to zoom into those meetings. I mean, if he holds out, the fines are there. And again, I look at Deshaun Watson. I still look at Deshaun Watson as a great teammate. And, the great teammate and the quarterback shows up for that kind of stuff when you're under contract.
But he ain't going to be on that team. A teammate last year, I don't think he's that far off. I do think that Malagueta would have him sit. I don't think that Deshaun will play for the Texans. To step foot on that field admits defeat. And while it costs a lot of money, he makes a lot of money. It's not that big a deal in the long run.
I mean, if the Texans and again, what I'm about to say, keep in mind we're dealing with Cal McNair and Jack Easterby. If they really want to play hardball, now granted, it would be very difficult to get players and free agents and that sort of stuff. But if Deshaun Watson wanted to, didn't ever want to play for them again, because he's under contract and he's already received so much of his signing bonus, not only will they have to fine him because that's part of the NFLPA, but then the Texans could sue him to get some of that signing bonus money back. I mean, so, and if he sits out a year and sits out another year and sits out another year, he doesn't recruit any years of service. He will still have the amount of years left on his Texans contract. So it's not like he could, unless he just retires and quits, in that case, he would have to give back a whole bunch of that signing bonus money. It doesn't make business sense for Deshaun Watson to completely sit out and hold out.
Business sense be damned. We'll see if business sense plays a role. We hope it does. We'll see if it actually plays out. Hey, coming back, let's look at the Spurs. Derek White comes back for game number 3 on the season. The adjustments will ripple from his new appearance. We'll look at how that's going to manage tonight as they take on the Memphis Grizzlies. Jill Jelnick will join us for Mellow Mushrooms Game Night San Antonio, coming next here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
If you need your logo on gear, you need to get into Sammy's Embroidery Club over there on San Pedro. Sammy is the best at what he does. If you need your logo on gear, nobody better. If you need uniforms for your league, if you're the commissioner, you're in charge of getting uniforms, the team manager, Little League Soccer, baseball, beer league softball, whatever the case is, get your uniforms done at Sammy's Embroidery Club. In the past, if you've gotten your uniforms done overseas with all the shipping issues going on, you don't want to mess with that. You don't want to risk getting it. Just get your uniforms done locally. And again, Sammy can get them done for you. Nobody has better prices. If you need your logo on masks, on shirts, on jackets, on caps, get into Sammy's Embroidery Club. He has over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Nobody has better prices. He has all the big name brands and is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too small, certainly no order too big. Check the website, samsembroidery.com, or go visit that massive showroom on San Pedro. It's 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's. All items come with a warranty, and you work with Sammy on your project. He's the owner, and he's by his phone right now, 210-824-3900. 824-3900 for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Beats Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game Coverage, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Coverage, guests, and insight all week on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
You love Southern Recipe Small Batches, bold pork rind flavors. Whether it's their spicy dill, Korean kimchi barbecue, or pasilla chili cheese, they've got the keto-friendly protein-packed snack that crushes all others. Want to win $5,000 plus Southern Recipe Small Batch pork rinds for a whole year? Enter at porkrinds.com right now. Porkrinds.com. Plus, you'll have a chance to win a one-on-one conversation with a Pro Football Hall of Famer. And while you're at HEB, grab a bag of Southern Recipe Small Batch pork rinds.
America's Diamond offers our 5-year, 60-month financing program every day of the year. You don't have to wait for a sale to get 5-year financing with credit approval, or wait for a sale to get our guaranteed America's Diamond price, because we treat everyone fairly and with respect every day of the year. For almost 40 years, we have designed and created our extraordinary diamond jewelry right here in San Antonio. When you buy at America's Diamond, your money stays in San Antonio. Our whole company is located here and locally owned. Our kids and grandkids go to school here. All 40 of our coworkers live and shop in San Antonio for everything. Through the years, America's Diamond has supported thousands of wonderful charity events in San Antonio. We're the official jeweler of the San Antonio Spurs and of the University of Texas at San Antonio Athletics. See our television program about diamonds and jewelry tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or see it right now at americasdiamond.com.
Beachcombing, baking cookies, learning French. Aren't these what you'd rather be doing than thinking about your Medicare prescriptions? Well, Walgreens is here to help you get back to it with convenient refill and pickup options, expert pharmacists to answer all your questions, and Medicare copays as low as $0. Zero. Which is also the number of cares in the world you'll have as you stroll the beach, eating cookies and speaking French. Oh la la. Walgreens.
$0 copays apply to Tier 1 generic drugs and select plans where Walgreens is a preferred pharmacy.
I like a bed that's really firm.
I need something a little softer than that.
Rest easy. With the Sleep Number 360 smart bed, you can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number setting.
Can it really help me fall asleep faster?
Yes, by gently warming your feet.
Okay, but can it help keep us asleep?
It senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you effortlessly comfortable. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. Save $1,000 on the Sleep Number 360 Special Edition smart bed. Queen, now $17.99. Plus free premium delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Injuries happen. If you twist, pull, pump, or snap something, you need to know about the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. From a minor sprain to a compound fracture, TSAOG has got you covered. Not all injuries require surgery. Dr. David Espinosa treats all non-operative orthopedic injuries and concussion baseline testing. Telemedicine services are available through Ortho Connect. If you're hurting, go to the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Online, TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom.
This is Manu Ginobili.
This is Matt Bonner, a.k.a. the Red Rocket, a.k.a. the Red Mamba, a.k.a. the Sandwich Hunter.
Hi, this is DeJounte Murray. It's Game Night San Antonio.
Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom.
It's Game Night San Antonio. It's always brought to you by Mellow Mushroom. Spurs back in action tonight, taking on the Memphis Grizzlies, who sit at 8-6, coming off a nice win against the San Antonio Spurs. Things coalesced rather quickly after 12 days off against the Spurs as they run wild in that first quarter, and the Spurs go down. We are joined by, of course, Jason Minix, as always, Jill Jelnick of Sports Tonight in Yolo, Texas, our Spurs insider, jumping on as we get ready for the Grizz. Now, we laugh a lot about the Sega Babas during the NBA regular season. Those second games of back-to-back are always tough on the Spurs. It seemed to be tougher when the guys were old, but what we saw Saturday night was a tired and weary group of veterans who forgot how to play an interior defense, as Memphis just kind of ran by the Spurs and never really looked back.
Rolled past them. It was hard to see San Antonio really in that game. At some point, they made that nice comeback. I think got within at least 5, right? But then, Grizzlies picked up and just steamrolled them the rest of the way. Even Coach Pop admitted after that game, okay, we looked tired. Yes, second game of the back-to-back. And like you said, Rob, this is a Memphis Grizzlies team that had 2 weeks of rest. And before that, they were coming off 5 straight wins. So they were not only starting to build a little bit of momentum, figure things out, but they also had an obscene amount of rest. You have to believe that tonight is going to be a different story.
You would hope, but it's just so frustrating because, you beat Denver and all of a sudden, you look at the standings and the Spurs are in the 4th seed. And I saw all kinds of people on social media screenshotting that. And, you're starting to buy in with Rob, that this is a good playoff team. And, it's like, all right. You beat Denver and you beat Boston. And then you put another one on the list of how in the hell they lose to that team. And at the end of the year, when you're looking at the playoffs, those bad losses, and that's what that was, is going to bite them in the ass.
No, absolutely. But like you said, it's almost laughable because we saw them struggle against average teams before. Now here is a team, Memphis Grizzlies, they have a lot of players out. That's, I think, one of the most concerning things to me about that loss was they weren't even at full speed. But still, I would like to see them come out tonight strong, obviously with a lot of rest. And then, Derek White, how impressive was his performance Saturday? You want to talk about a bright light? Can we talk about a bright spot in that game? Derek White with a team-high 18 points in just 21 minutes of play. There's still some things that I don't think it's as simple as saying, okay, here we go, the playoffs, but I'm not ready to write them off anytime soon.
It was good to see Derek back, and certainly there seemed to be more spring in his step than the rest of the guys, and shooting 56% the way that he did coming back in limited time certainly was impressive. Long term, I listened to the Saturday Morning Hangover with James Pledger and Jack Thompson, and I listened to Jack talk about the way that they're going to use Derek White and how long it will be before he gets into the starting unit, if he even does. It looks like that second unit needs a lot of help, and it might be about minutes and not starting. Do you see Derek White supplanting anyone in the first unit anytime soon, or is it going to be one of those things that by the night we might see a change?
Ooh, that's a good question. Because he was so impressive Saturday, right? And he was such an instrumental part of that starting rotation for so long. You would think, okay, yeah, he can jump in there anytime soon. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say Pop is patient. Pop has said numerous times, he said earlier, he said after their game Saturday night, it depends on who they play, right? Okay, I buy that to a certain extent, the matchup, the size. But I also want to look at Keldon Johnson and think he's doing so well. That starting unit, if you take away Saturday's night's game, that starting unit has really developed into something special. I don't think Pop is ready to break that up yet just because they struggled against this one team. I still see Derek White slowly working his way back in the lineup, maybe that starting lineup, maybe by middle halfway point, maybe towards the end of the season. Again, it kind of depends how well the starting unit continues to play.
But Jill, you just said, against that one team, and they were Warriors bad defensively against the Grizzlies. Now I can understand this poor defense against the Warriors and everything they offer up. I don't get it against the Grizzlies. I mean, I thought the Warriors was going to be about as bad as it gets, and they'll make a lot of teams look silly, but they played Warriors bad defensively on Saturday night against Memphis. And when you get a Derek White back, I thought actually we would see more improvement on the defensive side than what he offers up offensively. And that's what is so frustrating with this team. You don't know where they are as far as the yo-yo goes. I mean, it's one thing for Rudy Gay to have a bad defensive night, and he did seem a step slow on the second night of the back-to-back. But everybody else just kind of fell in suit with lack of effort on the defensive end. I mean, they were just bad, and then we see too much of that.
You give up, here's what jumps out at me. You give up 62% shooting in the paint, 56 points in the paint, and you're also letting them shoot nearly 50% from the three-point line. Well, you're going to have to pick something to be worse at than another. You can't be bad at all of it. You're going to have to put all your eggs in maybe one more basket. And I mean, that's a legitimate concern, because that post defense, to me, in the long term, is of more concern, because the bouncy athletic post that the Spurs have had trouble with, as good as Memphis is, there's no Jaren Jackson down there. This is a playoff team. It's no shame to lose to the Memphis Grizzlies. They were a game away, and Ja Morant and all this stuff last year. They're close. But if you're giving up points in the paint at this kind of clip, Jakob Poeltl, you're here for that. That's what you're here for. You're here for rim protection and all that first, and offense is supposed to come out of that. But if you're not getting that, that's going to be the tough part to pick. Perimeter defense, that's effort. And when you're tired, you don't really have that effort. And then you have the sputtering of adding Derek White into the mix, and it just kind of took DeMar just right out of the game. What happened? DeMar had like 5 points. I mean, it was just a game where he was not involved. And it felt like Derek took a lot of that, So that I think they can fix. How do they fix the low post? How do they work their point in the paint defense, Jill?
Oh, that's a great question. Like you said, it's easier to put in more effort towards that perimeter defense, hustle a little bit more, change things here or there, but you can't just miraculously get bigger or just be better up against posts. You're absolutely right. I'm not entirely sure, other than finding maybe a better rotation, a better mix with Jakob Poeltl and LaMarcus Aldridge, right? Because at this point, that's who you got. Okay. So we've seen glimpses of how well they can do on some games. We've seen glimpses of them not do as well. I would like to see consistency, but you're absolutely right, Rob. It has to be better.
Well, and you look at the consistency part of it. I mean, the other night it was, the DeMar DeRozan's the most underappreciated guy in Spurs history thread, and how much we value a LaMarcus. Then the next game we got to get rid of both these guys, man. They're killing us. I think one of the things is it is the lack of consistency. The problem is if one guy seems to be off, everybody's off. You can overcome one guy having a bad game, but it seems like if one guy is off, we've got 12 guys off. If you got one guy on, everybody is on. And I don't know how Greg Popovich fixes that. I mean, I know this was a stretch of games, and we talked about it last week. With a couple of games with Memphis, we had a 4-0 week in front of us, and we started 0-1. Then you also look at going into next week, you got a back-to-backs with Golden State. Well, I just saw Wiseman's going to be out, 10 days because of the sprained ankle? Spurs catch a break. They might not see Wiseman in those two games. That should make, a little bit easier or better, knowing there. I mean, this is such golden opportunities here for the Spurs, but they got to be consistent.
Well, first and foremost, DeAnthony Melton cannot go get 20 points on you. Let's start with the most basic thing to do. Stop DeAnthony Melton. When we come back, let's look at the potential starting lineups, the projected ones, as the Spurs get ready for the rematch, the second in a Segababa. Or not really, the second in the two-game match coming up with the Memphis Grizzlies. How are they going to do it? Coming up next. Game Night San Antonio is always brought to you by Mellow Mushroom. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
If you're having issues at the house with your plumbing, your heating, your AC, there is one company to call, and that is Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heating, and AC, 210-651-5899. Quarter Moon is full service, big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission, sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions. They have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quarter Moon, they are green certified. 210-651-5899 is the phone number. 651-5899 or online, quartermoonplumbing.com.
The ESPN San Antonio 10K Payday. This hour's winning word is
shine.
Enter that word now at ESPNSA.com. Another reason it pays to listen to ESPN San Antonio all day, every day.
Great cash, homie.
Before we rodeo San Antonio, mosey on over to Dietz Tractor. We're busting out of the chutes early with a stock full of LS tractors. And this is no 8-second ride. Take your time and choose from a field that includes compact and utility tractors at low prices. Excel in your field with LS Tractor, 6-time winner of the EDA Dealer's Choice Award. Backed by a limited 6-year warranty, LS Tractors will give you more standard features and more performance for less money. These are some of the hottest tractors around, and Dietz Tractor wants to sell them to you today at unbelievable prices. Dietz Tractor, where you get more tractor for less.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
And Doug.
Breathe out and repeat after me. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Your bird is eating my candles.
Your bird is eating my candles.
No, seriously, he's making a mess.
No, seriously, he's...
Liberty, 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 Liberty.
Get a customized quote at libertymutual.com.
Is the cost of finishing the basement worth the benefit of some peace and quiet?
When questions find you, Merrill Edge Self-Directed Investing can help you find answers with personalized planning tools and insights to help you get where you want to go, even if it's just downstairs. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/withinreach to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated. Registered broker-dealer member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Let me tell you why I love my Spurs, man.
Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom.
This is Matt Bonner.
This is Manu Ginobili. Hi, this is DeJounte Murray. It's Game Night San Antonio.
Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom.
It's Game Night San Antonio. It's always brought to you by Mellow Mushroom. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson, joined as always by our Spurs insider, Jill Jelnick. Check out your stuff on Sports Tonight and YOLO, Texas. Spurs, quick run, one loss. They're hanging around in that mid-level part of the Western Conference, and it's really tight. I mean,
11th?
Well, they're 11th, but no, they're not 11th. They're 9th. They're sitting at 11 and 9.
Yeah.
They're at 11 and 9, but the difference between 9th and 6th, where the Grizzlies are 8 and 6, the Grizzlies, they played fewer games. They just got a better winning percentage. One loss is going to swing you up and down just about all season long between, this group of things. So while are the Spurs in a traditional year a playoff team? Probably not. But in this weird one where COVID can knock a player out for 10 days and you only got 72 games to actually play, it does make it that much more important to win these kind of games. And we said last week coming into this that this is going to be one of those tiebreaker weekends where when it gets down to the end of the season and we're looking at teams from the same division where you get those internal division type wins, those are going to play a huge role. And that one on Saturday, that hurt. I mean, that was one of those that you feel like you need to get coming from a team that had been taking so much time off. They're riddled with injuries and COVIDs. But on the other side of that, they showed up with bouncier legs. Spurs get a day of rest. I think there's still some transition defense issues for the Spurs. But that being said, I think we're going to see the very same starting lineup projected. Looks like we'll have DeJounte, Lonnie Keldon, DeMar DeRozan, and LaMarcus Aldridge started, with the Memphis Grizzlies offering us Ja Morant, Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson, Brandon Clark, and the ever-popular Xavier Tillman, who continues to give up trouble to the Spurs. Looking at the next week, Jill, Jason brought it up a bit ago, that these are the games that you've got to win, and Golden State, who's right there next to the Spurs, are not going to be with Wiseman. At what point are the Spurs going to make a decision regarding these bigs? Tomorrow is one of those early kind of weird trade deadlines for the Spurs. It's time maybe to start really considering, if the Spurs are a playoff team, is it time to start looking at those other properties floating around the league that might be had? Because we know where the deficiency is now. We can tell that the post offense and sometimes defense is going to be the problem when the Spurs lose.
Maybe yes, but is it worth trading? Like you said, you have to look at what's out there. Yes, to answer your question, Rob, Spurs should be considering what's out there. But, they went through that same thing last year, looking at maybe trading LaMarcus Aldridge. It wasn't right, so they didn't force it. They didn't push it. And then he came back, and then he obviously had surgery, came back. But yes, they should be looking and considering it. I don't see an absolute cry for help to get someone right now this second. I don't. I don't think we're in that panic mode. I don't think we're in the, oh my gosh, we got to get rid of one of these days. We got to find another way out. I don't think that the Spurs are taking that approach right now. At least it doesn't feel like it.
Not at this deadline. And I think part of that is because, while you're in 9th, you're a game out of being 4th. And, I don't know if the Spurs expected to be this good, if you will, coming into this season. And, do you do something? I do think as we get closer to the absolute trade deadline, you'll get some clarity on where they are in the standings and, can they make a run to get bounced in the first round? And is that worth it? What are you going to do long-term with DeMar? Because I'm still in the camp of I do think DeMar. I want DeMar to stay in San Antonio, but if he's not going to sign, you can't let him walk for nothing. So try to get something in return for him. And will somebody come chasing a LaMarcus Aldridge and give you something of value as they try to go chase a ring? And if he gets an opportunity to get on a team where he could go win a ring, because it ain't going to happen in San Antonio in the next couple of years for LaMarcus Aldridge, I could see the Spurs doing something like that.
Game Night San Antonio is always brought to you by Mellow Mushroom. Spurs taking on the Memphis Grizzlies tonight, coming off a 129-112 loss on Saturday night that basically saw DeMar DeRozan take the evening off after the previous night versus the Celtics again proved that he is by far the Spurs' best player, and as he goes, most nights, so will the Spurs go. The expectation is, Jill, that there will be a bounce-back game from DeMar, but we have to throttle that with the more Derek White minutes. As he adds those 20 minutes a game, where do you see most of the minutes disappearing from others? Is it going to be fewer for Devin Vassell? Did that slow down his progress? Or is this going to be, a game-by-game, whoever's hot gets to play, and if Derek's not, he'll be sitting with the rest of the guys?
No, I think you nailed it. Devin Vassell, we just saw that from not only Saturday's game, but from the one game Derek White came back. The only game that Devin Vassell has not recorded a minute in was Derek White's first game, New Year's Day, January 1st against the Lakers. Then we saw Derek White return on Saturday, completely cut Vassell's minutes in half. Usually through the last 10 games, he's averaging roughly 20 minutes. He recorded 10, right around there, roughly cut in half. So we're going to see a drop-off with his minutes. But, it's not like he's having snaps that are jumping out at you right now. He's doing well for a rookie, and he seems to be playing in that rotation and coming off the bench with that second unit. But that's where you'll see a drop in minutes. In terms of Derek White's play, like we mentioned before. Go ahead, Jason.
I was going to say, but I think also, his drop in minutes came with he wasn't very good. And you had a replacement there in Derek White that was going to steal minutes. So it'll be interesting to see if he's having a good game. Do those minutes get extended? But it was one of those games where you felt like Pop looking at a rookie going, yeah, mistake bench now. And I think Pop was just livid the entire game.
Spurs brought 7
the second half.
Right. Spurs had 7 guys in double figures, as has become very typical for them, but not a star to lead them past another team with 7 guys in double figures. Are you more comfortable with a guy like DeMar, or on other occasions it's been Patty, taking control of this offense, or do you like the idea that you're going to get about 16 to 20 points from 7 or 8 different dudes, and no one will be in a position on a regular basis to kind of carry you through, unless, of course, it's just DeMar who gets the ball, close the last 5 minutes of a game?
I like the question, but I'm going to go with the veteran. You go with the guy with the experience. Right. You go with the guy that's been in those tough situations, down to the wire games. I would much rather rely on a key veteran night in, night out than take a guess who will do well tonight. Is it great that they have all-around talent and any one of these guys can step up? Of course. But they're lacking consistency. That's what we've seen this last month. And in order to be consistent, we need a consistent guy.
The one thing they've been consistent at is not having 2 back-to-back clunkers. So I do expect a much better game tonight from the Spurs against the Memphis Grizzlies.
We got about 30 seconds. Predictions, Jason?
Spurs win. So you want to score?
Spurs win by double digits.
Yeah, I was going 119-103.
I get the feeling that this is the kind of bounce back game that we expect to see from the Spurs. A little bit more offense, a little bit more rest, and preparing themselves for a couple of other big division matches. This has been Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by Mellow Mushroom. We'll take measure of the game and get it all taken care of tomorrow. Thanks for hanging with us.
It's Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom. 30 minutes before every game night on the Blitz, we give you an in-depth look at your silver and black.
This is Matt Bonner, a.k.a. the Red Rocket, a.k.a. the Red Mamba, a.k.a. the Sandwich Hunter.
Hi, this is DeJounte Murray. It's Game Night San Antonio.
Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
If your water tastes bad or has an odd smell, you need to call Alamo Water Softeners, because in San Antonio, we have some of the hardest water in the country. When you call